Oh my god, I think it is. Start it up. Go, go, go. Oh my god, I think it is. Oh, no, no, don't talk to myself, though. Cancel. Cancel self, please. Okay. Oh, shit. Sweet. Oh, boy. Is that a stream I hear on the distance? What's up, buddy? Give me those sick tunes. Oh, shoot. Everything I forgot to do. Oh, my God. Come on, baby. Let's see, and... Yo! Chicka-cha. Let's see, let's get in there. Change that. Apex stream. What's the date today? The 9th? Sunday, no, sorry, Saturday. Saturday. And then let's do, possibly some spooks later. Okay, see if that works. Cool. Sick. Okay. Is there any way to... Cool. Whatever. Sweet. Where's my dev kit? Okay, cool. Cool beans. Get out of here, Bigums. You're not supposed to be in here. I'm just kidding. You're fine, man. Where was I? What was I doing? I was doing something. Okay, let's see. Let's fire it up. Kind of want to listen to some Modest M, but I'm feeling more chill. Get out of here, Discord. Let's see, get that going, and then... what's it called? Overlabs? Streamlabs. No thank you. Just log me in, bruh. Cool. I'm gonna bother you guys every time. When can we play this new masterpiece? When can we play the new masterpiece? Well, actually, I do have some exciting news, because Dave and I actually sat down and talked about it. And we're actually going to release the map when we are at 25% done. Is what the plan is. That's a little secret. Not really secret, but not many people are gonna know, probably. But we do plan on releasing the map at 25%, which we're pretty excited about. We were gonna wait till like 50 or like 75, but then we realized that it'd be better to at least, actually not, we didn't realize it was better. It was something that we personally wanted to do, was get that community feedback earlier again, because we really liked that. That was a lot of fun. So we'd like to do that again, where we had everyone giving suggestions, because it kind of sucks for you to like be playing the map and it's like almost done and you're like, hey, I got a suggestion. Because then, you know, harder to do iterations. Where would you say you're at? That's a good question. I really don't know. I honestly have no clue. I couldn't even hesitate to guess at the moment. I would say somewhere around, like, probably like 5% is my guess. If I was going to be, like, straight up and honest, probably around 5%. Let's see. I'm curious what I can get. Let's see. Fade speed. Let's try 0.3, 0.2. Where's my shoreline? Oh, not what I wanted. See how that does? Oh, I need to hide that clutter too. Oh no. Oh Jesus. Hopefully everyone's doing well on their weekend though. It's been, we've been hella busy, as the kids say. I'm just kidding, I should never use that phrase. We've been super busy. I almost like it with the grass there. Almost feel like we should throw some clutter on. Shoot, 1 second. Give me 1 second. I gotta respond to something really quick. Okay. Alright, we're solid. Back. Go back. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I feel like we need some little flowers right there. In due time, though. For right now, I'm pretty happy. I like how glossy and still the water is. Might even slow it down like a pinch more. I don't know if that's gonna be too much, though. Let's see what this looks... Oh. Just fucking... Actually, I mean, you know what? This looks actually pretty dope. I almost like really still water. Kind of cool. So quiet and peaceful. Fucking gorgeous. Although, you could argue, like, if a fish jumped out of the water, though, it's not going to be moving very much. You're going to see all these dead fish hanging out up above. I'm pretty stoked with that. I'll take it. I'll take it. I mean, water on a lake would be pretty glossy. Especially, like, Northwestern. Yeah, a little grass would be nice. I'll host it. Full of piranhas. Get out of here. Piranha time. I'm down. Alright. Man, I was actually expecting... I'm surprised. I might actually get some stuff done. Bigums isn't shouting questions at me today. He's learned all he needs to know. What's going on, dude awesome? Oh, missing. What's going on? Long time no see. Sorry, dude. I totally missed you. How you been, man? Yeah, it's been a long time. I guess we've all been busy, right? Let's see. Where were we last? Let's load up our amazing backdrop that Dave made. Fucking excited. Voidy, what's going on, dude? Okay, and then I just need my grid back. Or, well, I should say, my wall. Yeah, I kind of like that the water is really dark. Because that's how it is in Washington, I think, if I remember right. I mean, actually, yeah, in Far Cry 5, they do. It's pretty dark in there, too, and that's just east of Washington, so I'm okay with that. Plus, it's kind of spooky, to be honest. Once you're in, you're like, okay, but Maybe darken up this. We could muddy this up a bit. I don't know. I like it, though. Just watching Bell. Art, why aren't you in there? Driving the buggy forward, Voidy. Get in there, man. You got work to do. You gotta be Bell's driver. We were playing PUBG earlier today. We did okay, actually, for only playing a couple games. Okay, let's... Alrighty, let's get back to it. Let's see, where was I? I think I was like kind of going along here. I don't know, we'll just keep going. It's a nice chill Saturday night, almost said Friday night. Yeah, no, I'm down. Let's keep it going. So good news is, yeah, like I was saying, gonna release the map probably around 25%, and I would say we're at 5%, but that's only because I don't know. We haven't tested everything fully, so I can't say for certain that everything's gonna work 100%. So that might lead to more time needed. So, besides that though, it will be neat. 25% is probably, well, yeah, actually, no, you could just do this. Whoa. Oh shoot, no, you couldn't see. Yo, clouds, get out of here. There we go. Oh. Oh. 25% is like, you know, 1/4 of the map, so if you please, it's probably like this mountain line. This is probably a good place to stop. And then down this way. And then we'll call it there, which isn't that crazy of, if you see how much I've already done here. So that's like, let's see, how many grids is that? Okay, yeah, so, oh, well, it's like 4.5 grids is about the space. So probably, yeah, right around there, like I was saying. Whoa. So level-wise won't be that bad. It's more about probably just getting the stuff working properly. In case there's any hiccups, it's good to have some wiggle room there. Okay. Backdrop, return. Wall, return. For a second. Okay. Wall, go away. Yo, humans. Yo, humans. What are you then? You're like also human. I don't get to be part of the team again. What? You don't get to be part of the team? Like what? you got demoted? I'll test it out with some Survival Plus. Okay. Hell yeah. I was gonna say, why not Primitive Plus? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. JK. The Swedes are invading Bell. Oh no! Oh, I see. They're getting some good. She's getting the good FPS guys over there. She's getting the pros to join in. Wait, isn't that art? I feel like the internet over there and then playing on our servers. Are you guys playing on servers over there? Are you guys playing on the US servers? I imagine they'd have like terrible ping. Maybe not, I don't know. Just imagine it wouldn't go well for them. Or maybe that works in their advantage. Not entirely sure, to be honest. Oh, okay. They got around your ping. Okay. Oh, for World Machine Erosion, you'd have to ask Dave. I can't remember the exact number. I can ask him if he doesn't get on. If he doesn't stop by, then I will ask him tomorrow. He said it many moons ago. I don't even know. He's AFK right now. Okay. I'll ask him, Mr. Muscle. Our Muscle Moss. I will hit you up with that. I honestly can't remember. It's not bad, seeing even I chop people with a machete. Oh, okay. Okay. Actually, we're gonna have to do something about these rocks. These look like, I hate these rocks because they look like you can pick them up. They look super cool though. We'll have to figure something out. I almost don't want to put rocks down right now because... I'm just gonna get confused with where I put rocks and where I didn't. So we'll just do everything else for now. Oh yeah, the E3 thing was today. I totally forgot about that. I gotta watch that shit tomorrow, see what's going on with the Fallout world. I don't know if was there anything good today you guys know about? Or was it boring stuff today? Hopefully it was some good stuff. I definitely gotta check up on that. Yeah, I think there was E3 things today. I think there was gaming stuff. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I have no idea. I thought I swear someone mentioning that. Like, oh, there's something E3 or some sort of conference thing. But I might just be going crazy, to be honest. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, you don't... Yeah, I don't pay attention to him either. I usually just wait till it's old news. And I'm like, hey, guys! Did you hear about Battlefield 7? Like, oh, it's old news, dude. I do know that I am excited for the next whatever Fallout is, especially if it's going to be like Ark, where it's like survival game, but with some sort of story, kind of like Conan. That'd be fun. Maybe we can make a map for it. Ooh. Fallout map, here we come. That'd be actually exciting. I'd be totally down. I more want to do, if I want to make a radio station mod with Dave as my co-host. That'd be so much fun. Dave probably wouldn't want to do it, but I think that'd be super funny. We do apocalyptic radio. I'd be so down. We just have random guests on. Dave, what's the weather like outside? Oh, well, it's pretty messed up as always. Poor Dave, yeah. Steampunk Fallout map. Yeah, I did hear about the Totally Accurate Battlegrounds. I watched the trailer. It seems kind of gimmicky. Like, it feels like it'd be a fun laugh, but then after a little bit, you're like, oh, okay, I'm done. Just give me back the real PUBG. So. But I don't know. That's just from I just watched the trailer. I didn't see actual gameplay. So maybe it's super fucking baller. I don't know. Kind of like, oh, okay, kind of like stick fights. See, that's what I'd want to play, something like that. When I saw that, I imagined it being like just like a group of friends playing against each other, not against real people.
What are you doing?
What do you mean? Oh, what's up?
Trying to. I was gonna say stream snipe.
Stream snipe.
I was like, yo, hit me up when you want to stream, dude. You're like,
Oh, did you?
sneaky stream.
Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, I saw you're offline, so I didn't know. Yeah, dude, jump in. Or you're like, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I hate you.
Well, now.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm gonna get some food and maybe I'll do some stuff.
Got you.
Oh, looks good though.
Yeah,
what did
man.
you want me to change? The tree? Was it?
What's up?
What did you want me to change?
I can't remember.
It was the mats. Oh, that one mat.
Oh, yeah, the crazy mat for the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I changed the lake. I don't know, I kind of like it. Super still.
Yeah.
Something like that, where it's like picturesque.
Yeah, I mean, generally the lakes don't really have a lot of waves in them anyways. So.
Yeah. Just nice little light rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, well, feel free to jump in whenever you're... I just thought you were like... I remember you say taking a break, so I was like... I figured...
Oh, yeah, I need to watch. My head still kind of hurts, so...
Got you. My neck's killing me. It's like weird. It's like not in the same place where it started. It's just like on the opposite side.
That's not good.
Yeah. Literally, yeah, it's literally PUBG with physics that are totally battle sim. I'd be down though, just to try it. But yeah, I'd rather just play with friends, to be honest. Not like against some guy who's gonna be super pro. Just want to have a laugh. Just want to have a laugh and relax. Bigums. I like it. Appreciate it, Bigums. No, Dave was actually accepting of it too. Thought maybe he'd want to change it up, but guess we'll see. I literally did that in like, what was that, a minute? I changed it. Not a lot of time put into that. Maybe change the color a little bit too. I do like it though. Sometimes the nicest things are the easiest things. Other times, that's totally not true, and it's the incredibly most difficult thing is the best thing to do. I want to do, like, a bunch of rocks shooping down. Kind of want to mix it up. I need some energy. I need a shot of adrenaline. We gotta mix it up. This music's, I usually like this slow stuff, but today I'm just like, I need some amped up goodness. Maybe do, I don't know, maybe do some more Druna. And I actually tried Stardew Valley out today. And that game is a lot of fun. That soundtrack in Stardew Valley is freaking on point. Alright, start it up. Get me in with the good song. Get Dave. Can't even say Dave's name right. Yeah, Stardew Valley, yeah, they released a co-op mode, which is really cool. So that was a lot of fun. Honestly, we played longer than we should have. I just want to, like, Rock City. Hey. What are you doing outside? Harvest Moon games? Yeah, I never played Stardew Valley. Everyone and their mother that I've met that's played that game is like drooling over that game. Excuse me. So decided to jump in since someone had mentioned that there's co-op now in the beta. Yo, Derv, what's going on, my man? Yo, Derv, I thought we were friends. Derv! Derv! Oh, Christ. See if I can get some just naturally cool shapes. It's the Doge of Dave. Is Derv. Derv is the Doge of Dave. Say that 3 times fast. Derv is the Doge of Dave. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. When a rock lands exactly how you wanted it to land. Thank you, Rock. Yeah, I like those little kind of pointy shapes that I'm getting on some of them. This area will be Mucho Rocco. What's up, buddy? Sauce. Almost need like medium rocks right there, probably. Probably. I wish you could like hotkey foliage selections. That'd be so for the win right there. That'd be lit to be able to just be like, I want all my ultimate rocks foliage hotkey. That's what I should like suggest. Next time, if I get to go to Game Developers Conference and get to go talk to the Unreal folks, I'm gonna yell at them. Yo, hotkey foliage. Quick, now. I need it. I don't want too many rocks, though. Just need the perfect amount. I feel like we can get some trees out here, maybe. Some more, I should say. I'm hesitant, though. I do like just rockiness. So, that's something to think about. Maybe just some more dead trees. Okay. Oh. See if I can hide that repetitiveness from that one rock, from Cliff Rock 01. Nice, this is gonna be a dope valley. I'll tell you what, Getting to be able to see that backdrop too is just gonna be, woo, woo. It's gonna be good. Hey, what's going on? Oh man, Summer K-Face. Summer K-Face. I know, if I remember right, I always said it the wrong way, but how's it going? Long time no see. At least I think it's been a long time no see. Unless you've been in here just lurking. But I would've remembered you. I would've remembered. I never forget, except if it's what I just had for dinner. If it's yesterday's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Normal activities of my day. How I got to where I was. Just kidding. Although, I gotta admit, I did get lost in Stardew Valley. And after getting lost in Stardew Valley, I forced everyone to fall asleep on accident. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, Jenny. Been busy RPing a lot and IRL? Oh, hell yeah. You always did. Yeah, I know I did. That makes me sad. That's when I instantly remembered. I was like, oh my god. I know exactly who this is. Just say Summer, man. It makes your life so much easier. How are you liking Conan, by the way? I see. I'm excited that Conan's getting some popularity back for sure. Plus, I think it's probably good for people. I would say it's a good time to get a breather from Ark, because once you're going into Extinction, ooh, you're gonna be busy. Well, if people do get Extinction. If not, then yeah. But gonna get a break. And then there'll be like the 3 people checking out our map. I'm just kidding. Probably like 1 person. It'll just be me. I won't. The map isn't. It's over. No, I still have yet to play it. Honestly, today we were like, oh, let's jump into some Stardew Valley. And I was like, okay. I'm down. And then it was like, typical SpongeBob moment of like, 8 hours later. And we're like, holy shit. Stardew Valley just sucks you in. Going mining. Selling potatoes. Selling broken glasses. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited that we're making a map that, like, we legitimately really want to play on. And I know that's probably, like, it's selfish because it's like, Dave and I really want to play on this. But at the same time, it's, like, just nice to be able to... I think that's why, one of the other reasons why we didn't want to go back to our old maps. We just wanted to make something that was, I guess, for us in a sense. Trying something new, but also just something we really wanted to do, which I know is selfish and you know. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people will enjoy this map and not just beat Dave. At least that's the hope. Hit me with your worst. Okay, Voidy. Dude, be okay, yeah, I know. I'm excited. I'm excited. I love it. Really wish they do more animations like Ark. That's the one thing that I think I speak for Dave on that as well. That is frustrating to see, is that the animations are still kind of janky. Although, arguably, everything seems a lot better than before. Way better. That's why I really want to get in there. I'm hoping maybe I have time tomorrow. I'm hoping. I gotta get Glitch. I gotta ask Glitch what the server info is. Or I guess Voidy, you might have it. I would like to jump in, though. It's just been... I might be on a work call tomorrow, though. I don't know. So I might not even get a chance to. For the Conan server, sorry. For the Conan server. You have over 4,000 hours, yeah. I think it's safe to say we're really excited, not only to be part of the, you know, working on the next expansion, but, you know, getting to all the voices that we've heard over the, you know, over the course of doing Ragnarok, and just hearing everyone's suggestions and excitement, and now getting to, like, you know, implement on what, you know, just to make the Ark world better. It's exciting. It's really, really exciting. I am so excited. And even people with 4,000 hours are gonna be like, what? At least that's what I would feel. I can't say because I think I have like 800 hours or something. Maybe 600, I don't know. I'll play the map, been wanting to do so for ages for sure. Oh, and have the Conan info? Okay. Alright. Yeah, I know, you were there at 10% of Ragnarok. That's... Yeah, no, I know, there's no doubt. We really gotta get those seasons just being like... Everything's gotta be perfect. If we can get everything just looking really good. Maybe not right off the bat, but... You know, getting all those things that we wanted to get in the first place and not having any sort of like timeline is kind of just such a nice feeling. Getting to be able to do, you know, rainbows and getting to do like varied rain and maybe varied snow. Getting to do the blizzard, the crazy rolling fog. All these cool, exciting things I'm so excited to try. So I'm like... I'm so eager, but at the same time, taking our time. That's how you make the best stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're up for Valhalla, so you go way back. You're like straight up family member support. I'll put on the server once the map, but yeah, once we release it for sure. Well, I appreciate, yeah, definitely appreciate the support, guys. Always really nice. Oh, yeah, that's right. Man, that is a name I haven't seen in a long time. Many moons ago. Be fun to sprinkle some berries or something out here. Just a little bit of something. Also, oh, that's right. I gotta tell Dave. I want to try some new grass on the ground. I don't know what I want to do exactly. I'm thinking maybe actually shorter and then maybe greener. Oh, I don't know. Coming up with something new. As much as I love the art grass and the material they have, because we're using vanilla grass right now, it blends so nicely at that distance where it switches from the foliage to the ground. Just really nice blend. And it's really actually difficult to capture that as much as I thought, you know, it'd be easy. It's not. It's actually kind of, it's a more daunting task. Ah, not daunting. Daunting's a poor word. Just, it's more difficult. That might be too many bushes. Get out of here. I'm also, the good thing about putting the map out even at 25%, I'm curious to see what people are gonna think of the berry situation. And also, it's gonna be kind of a troll. The fact that you don't get berries from normally where you would, that you have to get them from these bushes. I am curious to see how that goes. I think it's gonna be a love-hate relationship, really. But I think IRL has a hold of him at the moment for sure. It always does. Always creeps up on us. Oh crap, and I totally forgot to ask Dave what the erosion number was. He was just here a second ago. Is he? He's still, no, I think he's still taking a break. God damn it. Where's my other? Yo. Cool. What are we, yawning already? Yeah, you were asking about erosion, yeah. The number for the erosion setting. I don't know what... I wonder if he actually legitimately is going to sleep. Dave? Dove? I'm good for stress testing of your maps since I had a computer at 12 years old, but top of the line for its day. Let's see, so just testing. If those can get on the crap computers, I can spot that just kill, if you know what I mean. Yeah, totally. Hey, hey, what's going on? Phineas. Yeah, if this map can... I mean, that is one of the biggest goals that... I remember that's literally one of the first things we said. Well, I would say the second thing we said, let's try to do seasons. They're like, okay, let's see what happens. And also, though, everything's gonna have to be custom. So, what does that mean? That means we need to make sure the map runs really well and not use a lot of assets. So I know that's a big concern. I'm actually really excited. I think this map is going to be the best, you know, if not one of the best running Ark maps. As long as the weather, as long as that doesn't cause too many problems. Especially if we have like different fogs going and that starts causing, heavy transparency always starts causing problems, especially on older computers. But I still think it'll be one of the best running maps. Without a doubt. But love watching you work. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, and obviously, you know, another great thing about releasing a map early is just having people go and run into stuff for you. And get stuck on things so we can fix it really quick. Although, my expectations are very high that there'll be less things that people are going to get stuck in on this map. From the get-go. But, as always, I may eat my words. Maybe there's gonna be a million. No, there's not gonna be a million. It's gonna be fine. Such a good song. Get that landscape going. I was supposed to get a new build this year, but I have to give some of my savings away to help someone else get their computer back up. So next year, hell yeah. Okay. I mean, one more year, you know, especially if you're doing something kind and helping someone else out. I mean, like, I guess if I was in that situation and say my friend really wanted to play on a computer, but I'd rather like help them out so we could both play games rather than me just be like, hey, look, I got a badass computer. Sorry. I totally feel you there. Especially if your computer's still able to handle stuff. No problem. I wonder how Survival Plus will work with the map. Seeing some stuff react with specific react where specific stuff spawns. I know Rag worked amazing for it. Okay. We did. I still want to consider doing like, I mean, custom spawns, but that is such a terrifying thing to say. Because custom spawns can cause so much trouble. So, maybe we'll keep the... like, because it'd be fun to, like, actually just make the spawns be like, hey, mountains, you're going to run into these. And, like, this area of the map, you're going to run into these versus this map. Because, like, the map is all so very similar that I'm worried, like, the randomness... Now, one way to actually... Well, the randomness... I'm worried that the randomness isn't going to be enough. Like, you're going to run into the same things consistently if we don't do custom spawns. Or somewhat of a custom spawn. But people in the modding community are a lot more savvy on how things spawn in now rather than before, where they'd be like, oh, it's not my fault, it's the map's fault. Where, realistically, it was a combo of the two. But... And sometimes it was just the mod, sometimes it was just the map, but, you know, being on the same base with those people that do either dyno overhaul mods or anything like that, it's difficult to, as everyone knows, to get those working 100%. Where there's like one spawn that's causing trouble, where you have like too many, you know, rhinos or whatever, too many T-Rexes, or... But people are getting a lot better, so maybe that won't be such a problem. One way to combat it, though, is just lower the spawns in general. Like, not lower, like, crazy amounts, but spread them out. Because I definitely think this would be the cool map where we can really have it where what Ragnarok kind of was before, way back, where you would more, like, run into dinos versus dinos running into you. I really want this to be one of those maps where it's like, running into a dinosaur is a unique encounter that feels special. So like in this valley, I'm hoping, you know, maybe there'll be like 6 dinos. You know, like something like a number like that where it's like, oh, okay, there's a dude over here. Oh, there's a dude up there. And like, oh, look, there's a dude over here. Like, oh, look, a Giga, you know. Instead of like 50 dinos in here, where you're like, oh my god, I gotta shuffle through all these guys. I just don't like that as much. Like, if we could put more value on the dino that you're running into, I think that's a really cool, just innate feature. Instead of, like, everyone just, like, having to go through the traffic of dinos. And some people might disagree, and that's totally cool. I'm not, I totally understand the other way, especially when you're trying to find high-level dinos. But I think Dave and I were talking about making the dinos in general just be higher level, vanilla base. So running into them might be a bit more difficult at first, where you're like, do I take on the 120 or whatever? Or do I like wait a little bit or try to find something a little bit lower? It'd be crazy if every dino was just already max level. I need to make a mod that will display on the HUD or XYZ chords and do clips and stitch them together so map makers could use the info. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Winter's gonna be a pain, probably seeing you got a diet and food spoils faster. I'd be okay with that. Can we adjust the global spoil rate? That'd be incredible. I'm totally okay with that. We can like make winter really something to be trifled with. Oh, let's see what's going on. Oh, that's right, I changed it. Nope, cancel. These are almost it's like too river rocky. I need non-river rocky out here. I need like harsh rock. For right now, I'll just do sand. Maybe we'll replace that. Oh my god, custom spawn's nice. Yeah, no, I think that would be something to change it up. Sounds like a mod in Conan. Okay. I don't know how Ness and will react to it though. Yeah, that is problematic. The ants and the I don't even remember what the other guys are. Oh, the mount. Okay, I see. Sorry. You can ride those? Or wait, am I thinking of the wrong thing? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Let me Google it. Oh, there's the... Oh, okay. You can fly those? Whatever. Oh, okay. Spoil times are server side. Oh, okay. Not sure if you can adjust them. Oh, yeah, anthills, I got you. That's what I thought those were, but then I was like, I had to double arc check, because I forget the name sometimes. It's part of Survival Plus, okay. That's what I figured. Sounds cool though. So I wonder how is Survival Plus anyways? I mean, I guess in terms of like, is it crazy big now? Like mod size? Like, is there a lot of content to it now? I remember when it was first starting. It must be like massive. A million things to do. Oh, that's what I'm not doing. Whoopsies. What? They took off a bunch of the Witcher 3 soundtrack. No! You're kidding me. Why? Come on, man. Well, that makes me sad. The first half of it's all gone. What's up, buddy? Oh, you're kidding me. Okay. No, now I'm just sad. Sad times. We're gonna go back to chill music. Will there be direwolves in the first 25% of the map? I'm sure there will be. Probably near the mountains or... I mean, actually, arguably, I mean, it's the forest, right? So there's probably going to be a lot of direwolves everywhere. People's most arch enemy of Ark. Just packs of wolves everywhere in this map. Freaking just insta-murder. Yo, where's my paint at, my dude? Hello? Am I tripping out? Okay. This one's working. I don't know why the other one wasn't. I'll take it. I almost need this texture. I should ask Dave if he can throw that together. I need the rock texture from the mountain. It's just hyenas and direwolves are your best friends with that mod because you can friend tame them while you can't tame dinos. Oh, that's right. They have specific tames on there. Yeah, they'll be for sure. I'm guessing you'll see all the typical mountain ones, at least in the beginning. You know, we have to get creative with the other ones, but I mean, to be fair, I mean the T-Rex was I think it was not California, United States. I mean, and I think the T-Rex was in mountainous areas, so I don't see why that would be a problem. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't honestly remember. I swear I remember hearing though that T-Rexes did live in mountainous areas or like places like this in the United States. 3.8 gigs now? Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's some content right there. That's like it's made a chisel a notch in the Ark belt of file size. Because Ark's already like, you know, 5,000 gigabytes big. Then just add Survival Plus on it. There you go, 3.8. That's bigger than, yeah, it is bigger than Ragnarok. That's what makes me scared. Well, technically it's not bigger than Ragnarok but mod file size, yes. Once it got put into the game, they did a bunch of different changes to it, basically to make it, you know, run the best that it could, and those changes I believe increased the file size, but maybe not, actually. I don't even know, it might still be bigger. I'm gonna be honest. I remember someone having a map that was 8 gigs big. And I was like, oh my god. No one's gonna download the map, just do the file size. That was a big map. Time to take a look at it again. Okay, fair enough. Changed the game completely. Yeah, I remember it being like significantly different. At least I remember from when we were working on Ragnarok in the modding community. Talking about it a little bit. I totally forgot though you can't tame all the creatures. Oh, I can't remember. Valhalla's size was, I think it was... God, actually, you know what? It's been far too long. Yeah, it was. It was totally Foxier. His map was huge. I remember Dave and I were like, no. File size smaller. You gotta do it. I honestly can't remember. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to see. 1 second. Hey, buddy. I remember when I downloaded Valhalla back in the way day when it was like there was barely anything on the map. That was crazy. Yeah, I know for sure. We were actually talking about it. It's like I gotta be honest with everybody that not doing an ocean map, you know, not doing a map with an ocean on it is so nice. And as much as like I love water in maps, but doing underwater is like almost, it's like lost so much of its charm. After having to go through and do like an entire like island size of underwater. Now, if we were doing an all underwater map, that would be different because then that would mean that it's like everyone would be forced to go underwater. So, but doing all the underwater on Ragnarok really, I think, kind of tired us out of underwater in a lot of ways. So, not doing underwater has been really nice. As much as, like, I'll be down, but that was one of the things we talked about, because we were talking about going back and, like, hey, like, maybe we should, you know, if we remake Valhalla, like, what are things, like, what should we change? And it was trying to come up with a solution with having so much water. And it's almost, there's not a good one, really, at the end of the day. Just, you know, just dry Valhalla up and have no water. These big, like, dried up riverbeds and lake beds and oceans. Hey, what's going on, Toxic? How's it going? Yeah, I don't know. Water bridges. Because as most people remember, like, Valhalla's underwater, there was a lot of places, you know, just kind of this big, I mean, although maybe that's not something people care about. Maybe just having nothing under there is really a concern for people. Maybe we just feel like something needs to be there. But maybe for players it's not a big deal. That's something, I don't know. Never really thought about it that way. But yeah, just not having a map with just lakes and rivers is so relieving. In more ways than one. So we don't have to deal with underwater caves, underwater... Oh, jeez. Underwater. That means we don't even have to do underwater spawns for the most part. Save for, like, lake spawns. We'll have to figure out something for the anglerfish, but I think I got some cool ideas. people will get a kick out of. Ooh, that's right on the wall. Okay. Best to not put any rocks right here, just because this is a pathway up, or at least not big rocks, I should say. Just keep these off to the side. A Lord of the Rings style map. Yeah, I think that's a risky business, I would say. Only because you got a lot of people that would be I think you'd have a lot of people that want it to be very much like how Lord of the Rings was. You might have those stickler people who would be like, hey, like you can't, like, they'll be like, you can't call it Lord of the Rings if it's not like perfectly Lord of the Rings. So I guess you could say it's Lord of the Rings inspired map, but then, you know, that begs the question of, well, then what kind of map is it? But that would be neat to see, to be honest. If someone got in all the cool, iconic locations in the map, that would be neat. I think that players would get a kick out of that. I'd love to see me some, like, it'd be cool if someone made an actual mod that added, like, Hobbit houses and, you could build like a Hobbit village. That'd be dope. Yeah, you call your own map. Yeah, no, that's what... I just know, man, I've met some very, passionate Lord of the Rings people in my day. So. That's the only reason why I think in my brain I was like, I don't know. I'd be scared. Be like, please don't yell at me. I tried. I know it's not perfect. Still want to see Game of Thrones map too. That would be something to behold for sure. I think Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. I mean, obviously The Hobbit. Those types of environments would be very fitting for the Ark world. Ark has always had this kind of gloominess about it, even though there's a lot of bright. There's still like a bit of gloom that I think would only help those types of environments. Wait, what's going on, Chaos? How's it going? Yeah, see something that would be with that inspiration would be, oh my god, yeah, for sure. It'd be neat too if they incorporated or you know, released it alongside of a mod as well. You know, that maybe brought in some like different types of swords, or you know, a ring or something like that, a ring of invisibility. but you slowly go crazy. I'm down. Your character just gets like, starts getting all crazy.
When you get near,
I think just leaving this nice and open is cool enough. Almost need to do some smoothing over here. Not too much actually. Gloomy. Going good, that's good. Nah, there's gloom to arc. Nah, the mouth of a Giga is flashy. Okay. Yeah. Dude, he's got all those teeth are, you know, equate to a certain amount of bling. It's really a status symbol amongst the dinosaur community. I don't know if you can climb up that. We're gonna do this for safety. Ah. I think you can, but I'm just gonna do this. Oh, better safe than sorry. That definitely is climbable. Although climbing to what, I guess, is the more important question. Maybe we cut through right here. See if there's any other little spots, maybe like right here. Touch these up. I feel like they have a mod for that. Really? What? Been a while since I been a while since I. Oh, okay. I'm assuming have mod. What? Since I end mod hunting. I don't know if I'm not reading that properly. That is throwing me for a loop in my brain. Since I'm assuming you said you've been. Oh, been mod hunting. When? Oh, okay. My bad. Yeah, no, I totally get you. Ark, there's so many mods now, it's crazy. Mod hunting's like a job. Morgan Growl, what's going on? I saw some of your beautiful screenshots on the Twitter, so keep those going, dude. Freaking gonna be some famous photographer soon. Morgan Growl be traveling the world and then take pictures in video games, but in a cool place. Fun chat. Yeah, the chat was broken for you. Oh, I totally bear with you. I'm sorry. I thought I was like going crazy. I'm like, dude, why can't I read this sentence? So no, totally. No, you are totally fine. I'm sorry that I got stuck on it. Maybe we get some trees right over here. Would be a good little tree nook. Yeah, I think so, like in between. Where are my glasses? I can't read my own stuff sometimes. No, for sure. It was funny yesterday. So I have, oh crap, what is it? I can't even remember. Is it nearsightedness? Basically, I can't see far, which I think is nearsighted. So Dave and I were sitting there eating some lunch, or sorry, dinner, and like Dave could read like everything past the window, and I could just like read the menu. Yeah, just a little happy tree. One little tiny tree. Maybe get some Scots pines up here. Where's our last Scots pines? Maybe not Scots. They look so cool though. Just love these trees. Hello. What's up, buddy? Nah. Let's keep it going with the other ones. We'll have a nice little cool area where these are very prevalent. I don't like just shoehorning them in for no reason. Maybe mixing them up with other trees is okay, but I don't know.
By the way, I feel bad. I never asked you how your love life is going.
No. As you know, that was a done deal long ago.
This very sketchy, like, pathway down. This is like where your rocks fall and you got a pathway. Nah, thank you. Virtual photography is definitely becoming an important thing, Jackson. So many talented artists out there. Hell, well, dude, I gotta be honest. I mean, I'm not just saying it. Your photos are freaking dope. They're freaking amazing. I like that, at least this is my interpretation of what you're doing, is that you always kind of have like a story involved in it, in some sense, where it's not just a screenshot of like the game. It kind of feels like there's some backstory that you're trying to tell. And that might be just me inferring, but that's what I like from looking at them. Like, even if you don't know what the game is, you still get this odd sense that you have like like background knowledge just from looking at what he's doing or like what's happening in the photo. You're like, no, they're just photos. Don't talk to me while I'm working. Couple trees here. I wonder what Bob Ross would say if he saw people putting trees down. He'd probably be pretty happy. He'd be like, I like this. I can get behind this. Each and every tree has its own story. Fair enough. I like to think about that, or think about it that way. Especially since if you think about it, every tree in the, at least in this game, is placed by a person, you know? Just depends. Sometimes it's happy accident. What's up, Snow Cherub? I love that. I don't know why, but that one tree just right up there. This little beacon in the nothingness. The whiteness. Let's see. And this is where it gets sketchy. This is sketch. Oh, but I think the map, we'll push it like right here. That'll be the edge world. Yo, where'd my music go? Of course, right when I say that, the music comes back. I don't know. I kind of just like the fir trees here. See if I can get a yellow one somewhere. Maybe we'll get one here. Let's see, maybe... What's a good side? Maybe right here. I don't know, maybe not. I'm trying to like draw your eye like to this pathway. I almost kind of have to drop the tree in the pathway. Okay, I'll do that. That's better than up front. That's kind of cool. It's like in between the rocks. I'll take that. Always good to do, you know, if you are trying to direct the player towards something. Little subtle hints like that. Versus just have this like rock. But I mean, I do like just the rocks. I'm not complaining either way. I definitely enjoy it when people say, oh, this game looks amazing, I'll buy it. This is something I really enjoy. Or when they say, this is my new wallpaper now. Yeah, that's gotta be such a cool feeling. I know that I get excited when people take, or when I remember people taking pictures of Ragnarok and they were like, oh, that's my desktop now. And I'm like, it's always like, that's such a cool feeling. And yeah, that's totally one of the highest rewards. Like, forget everything else, just, you know, I don't know, getting to be creative and finding people that enjoy what you work on is always really just something worth more than anything. That's what I would say. I don't know why. Was the grass on here a second ago? something happened. I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. I guess we just have to regenerate the mask. I swear. Oh, maybe I just wasn't. I'm just gonna pretend like that didn't happen, to be honest. I do take photos to show the very heart and beauty of the game. It's definitely more than just, yeah, hitting a button. Yeah, that's something that I think... It's funny that, well, you know, especially... I wish every game had an Assassin's Creed mode. I hope that catches on. I hope that has made the point that it's like, look how if you add, like, some filters, add some, you know, different ways to adjust the camera, the FOV, like, just be... Giving the player, like, a camera to walk around. Like, literally, that's my most favorite part about Assassin's Creed. I jumped into it a little bit during the week last week, and I just was walking around taking photos again. I couldn't, like, get through the story, because I was just like, oh, yeah, I forgot about the camera. And I was, like, walking around, like, click, 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 click. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm doing the same exact thing I just did last time. I just have to stop doing that. Because I need to progress farther in the game. But... I hope that more games add that. Even if it's like a basic mode, the fact, like the creativity and awesomeness that comes out of that is like tenfold. So, it'd be just so neat to have that, even for Ark. Like, have a mode in Ark where everything's passive and you just are a photographer walking around. Like, there's no, like, food, water, you don't have to worry about any crap like that. You just get... Even just like, I'd be even okay if you just walked around with a camera. That'd be so cool. Or, you know, or you do like flying around mode, which is also awesome, so. Ark photographer. I would be so down for that. And I hope other games will keep doing that. And at least, if anything, at least Assassin's Creed. Because they always make beautiful games. And what, you know, in the long run, giving people tools to not exploit the beauty of the game. That doesn't sound right, but I guess show off and create their own stories is awesome. Exactly, Pokemon Snap mode for sure, for sure. The game comes with extended photo mode. Hell yeah! Oh, you can change the time of day and weather. Okay, that's dope. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Okay. I'm totally gonna recommend, now that I think about it. I swear, if Arc 2 ever happens, I'm totally gonna be like, yo, we need camera mode. Pokemon Snap mode. Activate. He's so cool. Oh, I'm getting too hyped for that. Yo, where my yellow flowers at, my dude? Oh, cool. Okay.
So when did you know she was the one to do? October 21st, 1975. Jesus Christ, you know the fucking day? Oh, yeah. Day of the game. Sitting in the bar.
Day at the game, sitting at the bar. Such a good movie. Good Will Hunting. Oh yeah, that's right. The new Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Hell yeah. I need to beat this other Assassin's Creed Origins. So I can... Well, or just get a bigger hard drive. I still need to order that hard drive. I need all the space, please. I got myself one. Oh, nice. Okay. Terabyte SSD. No lack of space anymore. Hell yeah. If you can believe it, I already have like 2 of those filled up. I'm just sad. I got so much stuff. Mostly, I mean, honestly, it's literally all Ark for the most part. I've got so much Ark. So much Ark. What's up, buddy? What's up? You gotta go outside? Was ist los? Okay. Oh, I see. I see what's going on here.
Yeah. From dusk to dawn, we always up like we're zombies, fighting bodies like Sean. We swing the stick like it's hockey. Always worry about the money if there's anyone behind me. If I flow so calmly, do I nervous to spit wrongly? Do I have bars? Do I have consistency? Cause recently I'm far, I don't have rap so fluently. Foolishly talking on my girl.
Ark is very big. It's stupid big. It's just like one of those games where you're like, what? I thought Grand Theft Auto was big. Well, that's true. Even though it is, I ain't so blue. Shouldn't be judging a kid on rap hard shit. Only trying to fucking live while these other kids be overdosing on acid. I'ma check this rap shit as my homie flows so rapid. Shooting bars like a 007 assassin. Better go ahead and fasten, cause the homie Patrick gonna spit it with a passion. I know he ain't gonna be slacking.
I was waiting by the pond with a beautiful lady hanging on my arm. It's a usual day thing. I asked her how she was. She said, ooh, it's amazing. And she felt like her heart was in tune with the bass strings. The smile on her face echoed in the trees, while reflections in the water were distorted in the breeze. See, I am not a strong man, but I do decree that I never make a problem and I always aim to please. So when Bobby hit me up, I knew I had to make rad shit. Perk produced it, I went bad shit. Started writing bars, then it quickly turned past tense. Ain't the first time me and homie made magic, yeah. No plan when I spit like the bars on bench. 24 like a Marshawn Lynch. Let me run up in your city with my squad tight knit. Leave graffiti everywhere that says all night shit like compliments. Fucking have a nice fucking day. You look nice. Good haircut.
Good morning. Ray 6, what's going on? Good morning. What? Where are you from? I'm just kidding. It's obviously nighttime. You can tell by the shininess of my head. Dictates how much light is left in the day. So, yeah. Deal with it. No! Cool. Final Fantasy numbers that I don't know. What number is that? Like 25? Wait, I can't remember. What is it? X is that 15? I don't know. Final Fantasy 15? Around, yeah, that's way too big. I'm telling you, games should just start releasing on the hard drive, like on just its own hard drive. Oh, nice. Okay, look at that. We did it. Good work, team. You can retire with half month's salary. I was not kind to my fictional self with a half month's salary. That's a terrible retirement. I don't know. What are you doing? Hey, buddy. Hello, hello. We. Okay. Is there procedurally generated weather on Jackson's head? Dude, that's pretty much how it goes, man. I hand out the weather information across the world, across the globe. It's not an easy task. Someone's got to do it though. My HDD is for photos and music only. Nice. Yeah, that's yeah, mine's just like backup. Anything that we've although even that thing's getting pretty full. I guess I know why the weather was buggy lately. Hey. Get out of here. Okay. All right, music. Time to take a back seat. In the back seat. 1 second. Alrighty. Can the Emmys be hacked? What? Thank you, YouTube. They're like, hey, remember that time you watched a video on the Emmys? How about here's a video on could the Emmys be hacked? Alright, let's do... Okay, preface everyone... We're going to be doing some scary stories now. I didn't realize it's already 10:38, so I want to listen to a couple scary stories. If that's not your jam, I apologize. Or if you want to start shouting at me, Thorn, what's going on? If you want to shout at me, I'm sorry. But I want to do get some scary stories in. I also added a little thing on my Twitch too. So if you scroll down, a little Chilling Tales icon. Because I know sometimes people ask about it. So, good way to just get them informed on where to go. To listen to the best scary stories and some of the worst scary stories I've had the pleasure of listening to. Oh, Christ. Some of these where it's like, what the hell is going on? Unless, I mean, I don't know. If Dave's gonna jump in, then I won't do scary stories. But, if he's not, then I will do the scary story, I suppose. I'm looking. Let's see, what's this? Sinister surprises.
Chilling tales for dark nights.
The following program is a production of Chilling Entertainment
All right.
and the creative team at Chilling
Get me in
Tales
there.
for Dark Nights, and a proud member of the Simply Scary Podcast Network.
Hell yeah.
Visit simplyscarypodcast.com to learn more about this and our other weekly storytelling programs, and become a patron today
Zombie
to
deer
show your
again?
support and
We'll
get
see,
instant
man. We'll never
access to our
know.
extensive archive of downloadable
The one
ad-free
day of like
tales
8
of
zombie deers in a
terror.
row.
Thank you for listening, and enjoy the show.
And enjoy.
Good evening.
Oh, every time. It's
I'm
wonderful.
storyteller Otis Gyre.
Otis! Yes!
I ain't your grandfather.
The best.
From where I'm from, we don't do bedtime stories. And if that's what you were expecting, you're in the wrong place. If it's terrifying tales you're after, well then, I've got just the thing. Get comfortable, settle in, turn off the lights, if you dare. Your night is about to get a whole lot darker.
I beg to differ.
Who needs sleep anyway?
Let's do it. Should integrate
evening.
scary stories in the map.
You're listening to Scary Stories
I'd be
Told
down.
in the Dark.
I got some ideas.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 4. I'm your host, Otis Gyre. In tonight's episode, I'll be performing 4 terrifying tales for you about dancing in the darkness, stalking shadows, cataclysmic countdowns, and the paranormal price of pain.
Okay.
You're listening to the standard edition of tonight's program, which includes the first 2 stories. If you'd like to show your support and enjoy an extended version of this and or other episodes with twice the terror, visit simplyscarypodcast.com and click Patrons in the upper menu to sign up today. And thank you for your support. It's time to get started, so lock your doors, turn the lights down low,
Hide your kids.
settle in.
Hide your wife.
The show is about to begin. Our first story this evening is by author Felix Blackwell,
What a-
entitled A
Hold up.
Dance for Fireflies.
Wait. Okay, can we just say that guy's name? Felix Blackwell? Or was it Phoenix Blackwell? Either way, holy hell, is that a dope name. That's instantly top 10 names. Okay, sorry.
Man, I just love music. It teaches me things, helps me see things about myself that I would not otherwise see. It's moved something in me that has never moved before. Music, an all-consuming fixation of mine, and it even influences what and when I write. And so I cycle through hundreds of bands each year, ever sifting through the granules on an endless beach of crappy music, hunting for my next true love. And when I find it, I obsess. But it's rare that I find anything new. So I tend to cling to bands I've grown attached to, and wait like an abandoned lover for the next album. In 2000, when I was just entering my teens, I discovered a perfect circle, who fast became one of my super mega all-time favorite bands. Their work is the soundtrack of my life. Unsurprisingly, I'm quite ritualistic about how I listen to an important album for the first time. It has to be perfect. And growing up in a noisy house in Southern California,
Wait!
the perfect place to listen was on the nearby golf course. I wait until the sun went down and all the golfers went home.
Okay, wait a minute, really quick. I know, God, I'm sorry. Okay, I was born in Southern California, and I lived literally a block away from a golf course. And people used to go there just to chill and hang out. That's so weird. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know, that's weird.
Then I'd grab my Discman and walk on the concrete path that carved through those rolling green fields. I still remember how the moon and stars drenched that place in ghostly silver light. It was hauntingly beautiful, and to me it was bliss. But there are a few things you have to look out for if you want to become a creep like me and skulk around on a golf course in the dead of night. First
Wait,
of all, there are
really quick.
skunks and bobcats.
One other thing. I know, God, I'm so sorry. There was one time that my mom accidentally, I had a dog when I was a kid, and my mom, it was like I got home from the movies with my friends, and my mom accidentally let the dog out. Because the dog used to, like, I don't know if you guys ever had a dog where you'd open a door, the dog would just run outside and just, like, run. I don't know if you guys have ever had that, but that was our dog would just do that. But I had just gotten out of the shower, and I was literally in my boxers, and I was running down the street trying to catch our dog in the middle of the night. And I ran all the way into the golf course because our dog would go and beeline it for the golf course. And I remember, like, running, and my dog jumped in the freaking, in like the, not the sand traps, whatever the water traps are called, but the dog ran and jumped in there. So I came back, I was like covered in like dirt, and I just gotten out of the shower too, so it's like even worse. Like got out of the, like fucking covered in dirt, grass, my knees were all like bent out of shape because I was running through crap. It was good times. And then I had to bring the dog all the way back home. I was so exhausted. Okay, that's it. I know, last of my stories. It's just funny because like that's totally something that has happened where I had to run through the park at nighttime.
Cats, and sometimes even mountain lions. Then there are sprinklers that randomly pop up and blast you with a face full of reclaimed water. Yum. If the golf course is in a rough area, you might find some dangerous miscreants on your journey. I was once chased by a meth head on a walk up here in Northern California where I live with my wife. The real problem is the dark. You don't want to bring a flashlight on your walk because the light gives away your position to security guards or anybody else looking around out there. So you have to go when there's a full moon. But even then, the light is faint, and the shadows that remain beneath the trees are pitch black. Who knows what they conceal? Because of this and a litany of other reasons, the only course I actually feel safe on is the one by my parents' house. In March of this year, A Perfect Circle announced a new album. I have waited 14 years for this announcement, and after recovering from the temporary insanity that took me upon reading the news, I called my boss, scheduled a week-long vacation, and heralded my coming to my old friends down south. Now, I'm not normally one to call myself a hero, but I drove 600 miles with a new APC record on the passenger seat of my car without touching it. All the other music I tried to fill that drive with felt like my ears were being blasted with high-velocity diarrhea. But I made it. I made it back to my hometown.
Scary story.
Back to my parents' house and the golf course. I was ready. The big night finally arrived. My childhood friend, Ronnie, came over to my place and we loaded the music onto our phones. The plan was, for each of us, to wear our own earbuds and basically just press play at the same time. I'd never gone on a tandem first listen walk before, but by God, we were innovating like a couple of stoner scientists. The sun set as we gobbled down some pizza, then, at the sight of the evening star, we set off into the night. You might not know this, but golf courses are typically comprised of 18 holes, which means 18 big green fields that all connect to each other. They're divided into two groups of 9, called the front 9 and the back 9. Front 9 typically snake between neighborhoods and are less pretty. The back 9 are usually out in the woods or on cliffs that overlook some nature scene. Ronnie and I started on the back 9. On this particular course, the back 9 are high up on a hillside, and they are totally surrounded by dense trees. At night, it almost feels like you're on an island looking down at the ocean. I swear the wind almost sounds like water out there. If it didn't also carry the horrifying screams of little animals being picked off by bigger ones. The walk started off nice. The music was good. Spirits were high. I took this selfie of us to assure our significant others we were still alive. If you manage to pry your eyes from my massive forehead, you can see how far we are from civilization. Those lights in the distance are separated from us by a canyon full of thick woods. But as we got farther and farther out, I began to feel a sense of unease. The pale moonlight made the world look like a metallic simulacrum of itself, and the black patches of shadow beneath the trees felt full of watchful eyes. Maybe it had just been too long since I'd walked that loop, but I found myself shocked that I had the balls to come out here alone as a teenager. We arrived at the fifth hole, which is the farthest point before the cart path starts to hook back toward the clubhouse. Out here, no one would ever hear us scream if we got attacked by a mountain lion.
That's a comforting thought.
The nearest houses were mere twinkles floating in a black abyss, nearly indistinguishable from the stars high above. Ronnie left the path for a moment to pee in some bushes, and I stood there, trying to focus on the music. But something caught my eye up ahead. Something moved at the end of the fairway, fluttering like a bedsheet caught in the wind. Ronnie joined me and noticed what I was looking at. We snuck forward to get a better look, careful to remain in the shadows of the trees that lined the cart path. In another 20 or so yards, I could clearly make out the figure of a person up ahead. Whoever it was, they were small and moved erratically. The first thought that came into my mind was, it's a junkie or a drunk person. I had never seen another soul out here on this particular course, but it wasn't impossible that some high school kids might come out here to eat shrooms or something. Is that a kid? Ronnie whispered. As soon as his words hit my ears, my brain put all the fragments of what I was seeing together. It was a little girl. She twirled and danced and swayed in the open field about 200 feet away from us, her nightgown aglow by the moonlight. Her movements were careful and coordinated, as though she was practicing for some kind of recital. But there was something dreary about the performance. She seemed timid or exhausted. Ronnie and I stood there in the dark, hypnotized by the absurdity of what we were seeing. It was creepy enough for two adult men to come all the way out here. And I mean, we were way out here. But a solitary child? It would have taken her at least an hour to make it this far out. How the hell could she have left her house without her parents knowing? Nothing about the situation made sense, and it filled me with dread. I don't know how to explain it, but what I was feeling felt deeply wrong. I scanned the area to see if she was with anyone, but the field was empty. The only thing that caught my eye was a tiny group of fireflies, glimmering and wafting beneath a tree across from us. The girl was alone. We watched for another minute or so. She never stopped moving. Her feet were pale and bare, and the bottom of her dress looked wet from a filthy sprinkler water that soaked the grass. When she twirled around, I saw her face. She couldn't have been more than 8 or 9 years old. Dude, what the hell? I blurted out. Ronnie hushed me, but my surprise had given us away. The girl stopped dead in her tracks,
Here comes the murder.
turned directly toward us, and gazed into the shadows where we stood. Even though I was sure we were hidden, her eyes immediately met mine, and the eerie calmness of her expression set off alarms in my head. After a long moment, her arm shot out toward us, and she pointed a twig-like finger right at me.
You're dead.
Over her shoulder, the fireflies vanished in unison. "Let's get out of here," Ronnie said, and took off running back up the cart path toward the clubhouse. It took me a few seconds for my brain to find my limbs, but I booked it after him, running faster than I've ever run before. In writing this out, it sounds dumb that a child could terrify two grown men like that, but in the moment, I absolutely felt like I was in danger. On the run back to my house, all I could think of was, "It's not really a kid." I kept thinking some pallid, gruesome skinwalker was going to come bounding up the path behind me and drag me off into the woods. No one would ever hear my screams. When Ronnie and I got back to my house, I went to call the police to report the little girl, but my phone wasn't in my pocket. I realized I must have dropped it somewhere on the golf course.
You goofed up, son.
There was no way in hell I was going back out there that night, but I couldn't afford a new one, so I opted to return during the day, when there would be tons of people and sunlight. That night, Ronnie and I speculated on what we had actually seen. Was it really a little girl who just needed some time alone to practice her dance moves? Had she somehow sleepwalked her way out here? Was she a ghost or some other supernatural being? I wasn't satisfied with any of those possibilities, and my brain kept me awake until dawn trying to come up with a better explanation. The following day, I spoke with the manager of the golf course, and we hopped into a golf cart and rode out to the 5th hole. We found my phone, but it had been smashed to bits. Someone had stomped on it. I showed the manager where we'd seen the little girl, but he remained skeptical of my claims, until he found a little pair of slippers in the trash can at the end of the hole. While he called the cops, I walked over to the place where I'd seen the fireflies glowing beneath a tree. But there weren't any fireflies there now. But I found about a dozen cigarette butts.
What? What? Wait. What? What? Oh, sorry. I think it's over?
Our second story this
It is over. Wait. What? I don't get it. Anyone read that as a kid? Spooky stories to tell in the dark for sure. Okay. So they find slippers. His phone's broken. They found a bunch of cigarettes out there? I'm strapped for ideas. I don't know. Anyone have any feedback on that? The art in those books? Yeah, dude. Those were good. Did we get this story before? No way. No way. Hold on. Maybe we did. Maybe. Well, sometimes they do pair the stories up. When was this out? June 8th. So they just put this out yesterday. So, I mean, we didn't at least listen to this video before, but it might just be paired back in with this this collection. The kid had a bad habit? Yeah, that's what I'm like. So, what? I'm Jackie Chan mind blowing right now. Like, what the fuck? Kid was dancing in the dark. It pointed at them. All the fireflies disappeared. Maybe there was another person there with him, and that's when she pointed. That person was like, hey. No, it doesn't make any... I don't know, man. Let me see if anyone... Nope. What the... Okay, I don't know. Maybe we'll just go on to the next one. We'll think about it. Oh, maybe mistook the cigarette lights for fireflies. I'm thinking the goal of the story was to question your own sanity. That one is making me think. I'm not putting the pieces together, really. I'm just imagining, like, they found slippers in the trash can. So, the kid, like, went dancing and then threw the slippers in the trash can? Okay, well, but I'm just going to contemplate on that one. We're going to start the second one.
Is by author Matt Demersky, entitled The Stars Are Eyes. At the time, I didn't think it was weird, but I had no idea what had found me. It was the opposite of a noise, really. The nocturnal sounds of the forest faded away without warning. Leafy silhouettes still moved across the stars overhead, but I heard no breeze. My friends were talking around the campfire, but I watched their moving mouths as if from behind soundproof glass. Just as I realized the depth of my involuntary two-note, that unnoise began. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to fly unhindered through the depths of space? I'd once dreamt that I'd had the powers of a superhuman, and that I'd held my arms forward as I soared through endless speckled darkness. In my uncontrolled imagination, the universe out there had not been silent. The drawn-out, expansive, and deep cosmic note I'd heard in that dream was now present in my waking senses. It rolled and changed over the subtle moments, bringing me a sensation of incredible emptiness and cold. That noise was an impossible echo from the walls of the universe that should have been too far away to reach, let alone return from. The sensation passed, and campfire conversations began reaching my ears again. I shivered then, and whenever I think about it now, the experience left me unsettled, but I chalked it up to those random moments of sensory weirdness that most people seem to get from time to time. I couldn't possibly have known that I was no longer alone. Nobody noticed it in the pictures from that night, but I went back and looked once things started getting weird. It was there, standing in the moonlit, dappled forest behind us, a darker shadow against the night that was only visible with the picture's contrasts turned up. Everybody looked so happy. We stood around the fire smiling, beers in hand. Nobody had any idea that we were being watched or followed. I was grumpy on the drive back. There is no other way to describe it. The morning light was irritating. The car was cramped. My fast food burrito was tasteless. My friends teased me, saying that I must have been hungover, but I was in no mood for it.
Hey.
I'd only had 3 beers. Now this felt like a leech on my very brain. Many of us went our separate ways back in the city, but my 2 roommates continued taking pictures and talking while on the way to our apartment. We were just walking in and dropping our things when one of the girls snapped a photo of the Grumpus, me, and then dropped her phone with a shriek. Even as she explained what had frightened her, the living room began feeling enormous, lonely, and chilly, like I was standing on a distant and lifeless planet, circling a dying star in a long-dead galaxy. The experience at the campfire that weekend shot back to me an instant. I knew. My 2 roommates had already picked the phone back up and began staring at the picture. It was me, standing in the living room, my bags on the floor, my gaze distant, low, and sad. She'd somehow managed to catch a moment that looked a classic painting on the concept of despair itself. That, and the demon that might have delivered that despair. Our living room had a high ceiling, and the fuzzy silhouette of the very gaunt figure reached nearly to the top. Starvation thin and startlingly tall. It stood in the back corner of the room, facing away from the phone that had taken the picture. Only one thing kept us from screaming our heads off and running out of the apartment. It was too hazy to really be sure it was a person. One of us suggested that it was just a smudge in a lens or a random corruption in the picture film. Now that calmed us down for a moment, until we had the bright idea to take another shot. The screams didn't stop for nearly 2 minutes, not until we reached the far end of the street. That second figure was not only present in the second shot, it was one step closer and angled slightly to the left, as if it was beginning to turn and face us. It was still hazy, and anyone else would have thought it was just a weird blur. But I'd felt its timeless, lonely, and icy presence. I knew it was real. I'd read stories like this, too. This was an entire class of haunting or demon or something. The stalking shadowed the tall humanoid figure, the step-by-step progression towards something terrible. I had them take another picture, this time of the street. They screamed again, and I grabbed the phone. It stood now on the sidewalk half a block away, facing directly to the side. Pitch-black slashes in the haze hinted at the beginnings of facial features turning our way. I shouted for help at a random man on a bike, and he came over. At first, he thought one of us had been injured or something, but he took the phone in confusion as I explained our situation. He took one look at the picture and handed it back, eyes wide. He thought he was on a prank show, of course, and took off. But that was confirmation the hazy entity was really in the picture. The first solution was simple enough. I told my roommates that we could never take pictures ever again. They didn't like that at all.
Troubling.
One of them brought up a legitimate concern. What if other people took pictures of us? Weren't Google satellites or whatever taking pictures from the sky all the time? Would the shadows show up in those? Could we look it up on Google Earth, Google Street View? They both had their phones out halfway through that line of reasoning, but I knew they would never find anything. Those aerial images were only taken every so often, and we'd never find a random dark smudge in them. They were right, though, that other people could take pictures of us and potentially advance the haunting. We couldn't control every photographer in the world. We went down to the church down the street and snapped another picture, hoping that it was a religious type of demon that abhorred sanctity. It didn't care at all. It stood tall among the pews, a shadow with black slices for features, nearly facing us now. Panicking and crying, one of my roommates ran out into the street and took another picture. Whatever she saw made her go into hysterics, and we had to run her down. Grabbing her phone, I looked, heart pounding. The picture of the street was entirely covered in a hazy shade, with two darker lines framed perfectly. I stared at it for a moment, trying to understand, until, in that static picture, the pitch-black slices opened to reveal two very human eyes. Those eyes rotated, looking about, first at me, then at my roommates. Those startlingly human eyes gazed at us from inside a picture. It actually saw us. Somehow, it was looking out from the screen. Absolute terror froze every muscle in my body, at least until the shadow moved back from directly in front of the image. A thin hand began rising out from the screen itself. All I could do was drop the phone and watch as it hit the pavement and shattered. A hazy hand and wrist made a shadow plop to the cement, and we three screamed together as it writhed around in the sunlight. Men rushed over to see what was wrong, and one fainted as he saw the demonic hand still twitching and moving at random. 2 guys pulled out their phones to take a video of it, but thinking fast and from a place of utter terror, they smacked their hands hard enough to knock the devices away. The transparent flesh began to sizzle on the sidewalk. In a few seconds, the sun burned away what remained, and a good 6 or 7 of us stood in dumbfounded awe. They'd all seen it, but what could any of us do about it? Still shaking, I was the first to act. I pulled up my phone and smashed it. My roommate's other phone joined that one, and we stomped the first one even more.
The night of phones getting
Those
destroyed.
who had come and seen the creature did the same, just in case. We all exchanged contact information and went our separate ways. As we'd agreed, we each took photos with new devices around our houses, cars, and the like. None showed the entity. I theorized that the haunting was tied to devices, possibly time or subject-related pictures. But see, I've already told you why I'm writing this general warning to all of you people out there. I was able to go back and see the entity in our campfire photos, lurking in the moonlight, dappled forest, because those pictures had already been uploaded to Facebook. We destroyed the devices it was on,
Facebook.
but not the images in which it had originated. By the time I realized our mistake, pictures had already been shared and liked by all of our friends. Pictures taken with phones synced to those computers began showing the starving shadow. Webcams used for Skype sessions showed that hungry presence standing somewhere behind the victim. Each new image and video brought it closer to the photographer and closer to climbing into our world. The word got out to our friends, but some didn't believe us until the first unexplained disappearance. And that tidbit in the news prompted the horror-sharing sites. They got wind of our images and videos and started posting them everywhere. Real scary ghost video. You will be shocked. Or, what is this shadow behind OP? Or, unbelievable entity footage will make you believe. I saw it spread all across the internet, and I knew there was nothing we could do to stop it. Calling attention to it and trying to get it removed would only make things worse. That lonely and hungry entity that had first come to me in the woods on that cloudless night, surrounded by and filled with the emptiness and lifelessness of the universe. It's out there now, alive in pictures and videos. It's not going to end the human race or even get most of us. But there are more cell phones in the world now than people, and more photos being taken every single day, and we can't possibly get the word out to everyone. Be careful what you look at online. It might just look back at you.
Okay. I mean, essentially, if you break that story down, I mean, arguably, that's the ring. I mean, like, social media, the more people that see it, the more people that start disappearing. I mean, I know the ring's not entirely, like, original. So we had story where phone gets broken, and I still don't know what the hell happened in it. And then we had story where it became basically like public service announcement of look out when you look out on the internet. I don't know why I'm being so judgmental today on these stories. Excuse me. Navy golf course area. Back when fucking like 9 a.m. Yeah, I know. I feel you, man. Those are the hours of the game industry. But it won't be all the time, though. To be fair, you're gonna work your butt off, and then you're gonna reap the rewards. No, it wasn't when we planted a fake tree. Although I should tell that story. I should tell that story. Me and this guy here in the chat, when I don't remember how old we were. I think we were like maybe like 12 or 13. We basically, my mom's friend brought home a fake tree to give to my mom. My mom was like, I don't want this fake tree. And then so Cappers and I, we went down to the park at like the middle of the night and we planted the fake tree like amongst the row of other trees that were planted. So we planted this fake tree in the ground and the tree stayed there for like around like 6 or 7 months. And they even like mowed around it and they like took care of it. It was totally a fake tree. It was freaking amazing. Oh man. That brings back some memories. Out there with our shovel. Oh Christ. What's up, buddy? I know you want to play. I played with you forever today. The good old days. I know, man. I know. I'm excited to see how the Mankind Reborn stuff's going. Yeah, planting trees. I mean, I don't know how many people planted trees in the park, but it's definitely something that I don't think a lot of people would have done. Well, yeah, because kids nowadays, I remember when I was doing community service for high school, and I remember the kids there had cell phones. I swear, kids are already adults now. They don't have time to run around and be creative and do stupid things. You have to be an adult right away. Compared to be fair, too, we didn't have the internet. Cappers. So we had to go use our imagination to run around and come up with things to do in the internetless world. And, you know, planting a fake tree in the park sounded like a pretty decent idea. Dude, we would have got so many likes on Facebook if that was around at that time. Hashtag fake tree. Jackson's still going around. He just moved digital. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. That was OG original. How many other people would have done that? Oh, man. No, it's all good, man. It's good to talk to you. I know we've both been freaking busy. We're like ships crossing in the night, man. So it's like just one of those things. It's like gotta get ready for all the big gaming events coming up. FB famous, yo. Dude, we would have had all the things. We'd have been Cash Me Outside level. Things never change. No, for sure, man. For sure. Oh, man. I hope that when I die, that I can request my last thing for someone to bury a fake tree on top of me. That actually would be perfect. I'd be very happy with that. I don't know. He said something about a fake tree, and then he just died. I'm totally okay with that. Yeah, man. Have you been Hermit? Dude, Hermit mode's good, though. It's bad, but it's also good, though. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Gotta be prepared. Gotta, you know, because then at the end of it, you're gonna look back, you're gonna be like, dude, this is so badass. I mean, that's how it always was back in the way day, you know? It's always... You never want to look back and be like, did I feel like you didn't put enough effort in, you know, or time in? So, like, putting the nose to the grindstone is always a good feeling, because then you feel like, you know, at least at the end of the day, that you got, you know, as much as you could physically do in. Nice, dude. Character customization and netcode? Okay. Dude, that's what I'm excited for. 100, at least, like, I mean, 100 people would be freaking awesome. 100 people, and then freaking everyone's got their sick apartment and stuff like that. At least, yeah. That'd be so cool. It's like the game that we that we dreamed that the old game would have been. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna keep playing the story, but I will type to you if you type anything. I'm gonna continue with our scary stories going. It's good to see you, man. Well, good to talk to you. Well, I gotta call you. I guess I don't know. I don't want to bother you though. I know you're freaking super busy, so I almost feel like we gotta. If you try calling me, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'll try giving you a call at some point. Every time I've went to call you, it's either been, like, incredibly late at night or I've been too tired to talk. Multiply that by 10? Oh my god, that's insane. I can't imagine. That'd be so crazy. It's like some crazy giant... That'd be like sandbox mode, literally times 10. I'm excited. I'm obviously, you know, all the best, man. I'm hoping that... I know you guys are going to kill it, so... I just hope you don't tire yourself out too much to have a little fun, you know what I mean? Go out there and get to enjoy. I mean, to be honest, I remember I don't know. I remember being very tired, and I was like, I'm cool. I just had to sit down. Yeah, but I know you'll have fun. I'm excited. Definitely keep me posted. Definitely keep me posted. For sure, man. We shall. We shall. Sounds good, man. We'll talk soon. I bet it is nuts. I can't wait to hear about it too. I know it's gonna be crazy. I know it's gonna be nuts. Better have the coolest damn trailer I've ever seen. Okay, hold on. Let's see. All right, let's continue. Where were we? Continue.
Production of Chilling Entertainment and the creative team at Chilling Tales for Dark Nights, and a proud member of the Simply Scary Podcasts Network. Visit simplyscarypodcast.com to learn more about this and our other weekly storytelling programs, and become a patron today to show your support and get instant access to our extensive archive of downloadable ad-free tales of terror. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the show.
Okay.
Step right up and prepare to be unsettled. You've left behind your safe reality and fallen into darkness. There is no escape and there is no reprieve. Welcome to the Simply Scary Podcast, Season 3, Episode 4. I'm Otis Gyrie, host of Scary Stories Told in the Dark, and tonight I'll be filling in for GM Danielson. This evening, I'll be your guide through the twisted worlds and disturbed imagination of author Jackson Laughlin and
Jackson
Winnie F.
Laughlin.
Winters.
That's a great name,
And for
too.
our patrons and season pass holders, we offered twice the terror, with an additional pair of tales from Zamil Akhtar and the elusive Pen Phantom 13. So take your seats in our theater of the mind and have your ticket ready as we prepare to dive deep into the dismal depths of depravity. The show is about to begin. In our first tale tonight, from Jackson Laughlin, Roger Hope receives a visit from a coroner who has rather bad news about his dear brother. Unfortunately for Roger, that's only the beginning. I give you, the coroner was wrong.
On March 15th, 2018, I received the phone call that changed my life. It was from a man named Chris Bailey. He told me that he was the duly appointed coroner of Gilliman, Colorado. He said that he had bad news.
I'm calling in regard to a Mr. Brian Hope.
My brother?
Yes, sir. Are you sitting down?
Yes.
We found your brother in his motel room this morning. I regret to inform you that your brother passed away last night. We are still investigating, but the cause of death appears to be natural.
Natural?
Yes, sir. We have reason to believe he had a heart attack in his sleep. I'm so sorry for your loss.
That's what he said. So sorry for your loss. As if sorry made up for it. As if I could forgive him. As if I could forgive the world. Well, I couldn't. I wouldn't. And I still won't. My brother was everything to me. He was my protector, my mentor, my friend. He was just 2 years older than me, but it always seemed like more than that. Brian was an old soul. We grew up in Gilliman, Colorado. It was the kind of town that was just small enough for you to recognize everybody else's face, but not small enough for you to know their name. For two precocious young boys, it was a comfortable, if somewhat plain, place to grow up. Our world was one of summer days spent playing in the woods, winter nights spent hoping for snow days, and year-long suburban hijinks. And when I think back to childhood, I remember the good times with my brother. Once, Brian and I were riding Razor scooters down the hill at the bottom of our street, and we crashed into one another. Brian had a nasty cut on his forehead, but he still spent the next week pampering me and helping me tend to my road rash. All he cared about was whether I was okay. He was almost like a second father to me. Our actual father disappeared when we were young, under mysterious circumstances. It was very sudden, and it threw our family for a loop. Our mom did her best, but she was never cut out for being a single mother. When I was 10, we left Gilliman. After that, we moved across the country a bunch. My mom was always looking for work, mostly because she got fired from every job she had. And she was a little slow and enjoyed her evening martinis a little too much. She used to joke that she shouldn't have taken my father's name, Hope, because ever since she did, it was the only hope she had left. That joke was pretty funny until I was 13. Around that time, she drank herself stupid and wandered onto a highway in the middle of the night. They said the guy that hit her was high on some manufactured drug, but I don't blame him too much. It was partially her fault for getting plastered and wandering away like that. Still, it was rough after she was gone. Rest in peace, Mom. Hope you're happier now, wherever you are. Shortly after Dr. Bailey called, I received an email containing a copy of Brian's autopsy report. It confirmed what Dr. Bailey suspected. Brian's heart gave out. One too many cheeseburgers, I guess. Brian had certainly put on the pounds in his later years. Work had gotten pretty stressful for him. For both of us, really. Brian's or was, an editor of the local rag. A paper called the Humboldt Gazette. It's no Times, just a mid-sized operation, but he practically carried it on his back. That's why he had gone back to Gilliman. He wanted to take a break from the hustle and bustle of the city. He wanted to relax for a while and enjoy the country life. He told me that he had fond memories of the time we spent there as kids. He also told me that Gilliman was a funny place, the kind that always sticks in the back of your head. I always wanted to go back. See the house we lived in when Dad was still around. See if anybody remembers him. That's what Brian said before he booked his plane ticket to fly out there. He didn't say what I knew he meant. He wanted to go back and see if he could find out what happened to Dad. Brian had always said he was curious about it. He always said that it didn't make sense he would just up and leave us like that. Mom hadn't started drinking until after he disappeared. As far as we knew, they had a happy marriage. Mom never made us think differently. It's always bothered me, Roger. Maybe he's still out there. Maybe I could find him. Make him explain why he abandoned us like that. Brian was the most determined man I ever met. After Mom died, Brian took care of me. He dropped out of school so he could work 2 jobs. I tried to drop out too, but he wouldn't let me. He said I had to make grades so I could get into a good college. So I worked my ass off. I got the grades. I got a good scholarship. Brian was proud as hell of me. The day I got my acceptance letter to NYU, he was so happy. That afternoon, he bought me my first beer and we watched baseball on TV. The Rockies lost, but I'll remember that beer forever. That first beer led me to try a second. And that second led me to a third. And before I knew it, it was finals time for my first semester of college, and I was spending every night chugging cheap beer or cheaper whiskey. Brian wrote me letters telling me that he was so proud of me. Telling me that I was going to make the world a better place. Stupid Brian. He didn't even know his brother was a hopeless alcoholic failure. I was too much of a screw-up to pass a single class. I didn't even go to most of my finals. College wasn't right for me. I dropped out after that semester.
Sucks, dude.
Brian was mad at first, but I think he realized I just wasn't ready for the real world. We both got jobs. He spent his days at a construction site, and I spent my nights as a mall security guard. Neither job was particularly fulfilling. Brian was so exhausted that most nights he passed out in front of the TV as soon as he got home from work. My job wasn't a lot better. Late-night security consists mainly of trying not to fall asleep and watching the clock hands traverse their usual path. I spent a lot of those nights writing bad poetry and worse short stories. We lived in a crappy apartment, drank crappier beer, and watched even crappier baseball. Over time, Brian pulled himself together. He got his GED. He got a degree from community college.
Hell
Then he got
yeah.
a bachelor's from Northwestern in
Going up.
journalism. Brian was a smart son of a gun. He got a big job doing investigative reporting for the Times. I stayed in our small apartment working dead-end jobs and drinking. Sooner or later, we got old.
Oh shoot, this is where that river
Brian
was.
started his own paper with a buddy.
I don't know what I'm gonna do about this.
They hired me on as a lifestyle journalist. Even if I couldn't make it through a year at NYU, I could still pen a few words about local animal shelters and massage parlors. And after a few years, Brian got tired. You could see it in the bags under his eyes. He had been working so hard for so long. Everybody told him to relax, to take some time off.
Holy smokes, my editor just took...
Brian listened.
Wow.
He took that trip to Gilliman. And then I got the call from Dr. Bailey. Just like that, the man who had given me so much was taken away from me. Dr. Bailey said he would arrange for the body to be sent to us in a freezer truck so I could arrange for a proper funeral. Brian's business partner and I made all of the arrangements. Planning a funeral isn't as hard as it used to be. Nowadays, you tell them your price range, they try to make you spend more, you say no thank you, and then you're on your way. I'd be lying if I told you that I was okay. And my stomach still feels like it's full of 100 twisting worms. It's hard to eat or sleep. I always thought that Brian would be there forever. Suddenly, he isn't there to talk to when I'm bored. There is no one to call when I want to complain about the Rockies or my newest column. I'm alone. Sure, I have friends, but nobody like Brian. His body arrived 3 days after the coroner called. I saw it myself. We put it in the ground a few days later. Almost 100 people RSVP'd to the funeral. And the man was beloved by all. I'm sure it was a great service. I didn't go. Because Brian wasn't dead.
What?
The night before the funeral, I was working late in the office. Both because I had to make up for all the work Brian wasn't doing anymore, and because if I wasn't working, then I didn't have to go home and face the lonely feeling in my head. Anyway, I was going through the submissions we get from readers. Usually it's just spam and fan letters from creepy people that have become obsessed with one of our reporters. But this time, I found something unusual. A small white envelope. On the outside of the envelope was black Sharpie that read, "Roger, the coroner is wrong." I tore it open in an instant. A little strip of paper fell out. There were 2 sets of characters written on it in a messy script. The first was a web address. The second was a short message. Brian Hope, Gray, 3/15/18. I pulled up the address on my computer immediately. It brought me to a plain black web page with a video player and a preloaded clip. As soon as the website loaded, the video began to play. The footage is approximately 3 minutes long. It was horrible. I'm going to describe it. But be warned, it is not for the faint of heart. The video is shot in a small gray room. I wish I could provide more description than that, but I can't. There are no fixtures on the walls. There's something off about the room, though. It's almost like the floors and walls are moving. They look almost like they're made of TV static. Although the room appeared dimly lit, I didn't see any light fixtures. There isn't even a door as far as I could see. There is, however, a table in the middle of the room. The table is covered by a dishwater-colored sheet. Lying on top of that sheet is my brother. He's wearing only a pair of discolored boxer shorts. There are shackles on his wrists and ankles that lead underneath the table out of view. He's alive.
No more, please stop.
When the video starts, he's screaming. The camera moves towards his chest, and you can see that his pale skin is stained with sticky, crimson blood. The video pans over to the source of the blood. It appears the nipple of the left side of his chest has been ripped off. A little bit of it is still hanging from the areola.
Oh. Oh.
Brian keeps screaming.
It's looking great, thank you.
The shot cuts out for a second, and then cuts to a figure standing in front of the table. It's standing near his legs and appears to be surveying him.
Please stop. Somebody help me, please.
Brian is still screaming. The figure is near silhouetted by the strange lighting in the room. It's hard to make out any of its features. It looks just like a gray mass in a loose humanoid shape. As the camera pans past the figure, you can see Brian's hands. They too are bloody, a result of having had most of his fingernails ripped out. There's a loud, buzzing noise in the background, like the sound of white noise. The figure holds up an object. Unlike the body of the figure itself, the object is easy to see in the light. It's a hammer. Its tip is covered in dry blood. Brian screams as the figure raises the hammer above its head. The shot cuts out before the hammer collides with Brian's kneecap.
Oh.
The screen stays black for a few
bueno.
seconds, and then it cuts to a shot of the wall. This is the shot that made me think it was like static electricity. As the camera pans to the right, it feels like I'm looking at dead air. But then the camera comes to a framed picture. It's not so much hanging from the wall as it's floating in front of it. The framed picture is familiar, although I haven't seen it for almost 15 years. It's a photo of my family. My mom, my dad, Brian and me. All from when I was only 2 years old. We used to hang this picture above the fireplace, except the photo has been altered. Someone has scribbled over Brian and my father's faces with a black marker. After a moment of focusing on this photograph, Brian is heard screaming in the background. He yells, "Please stop. Somebody help, please." Then, for just a moment, the video cuts to a face. It is entirely gray and expressionless. In that moment, the buzzing noise was deafening. Then the video shut off. As soon as it ended, the website crashed. The link no longer displays the video. Now it just goes to an unowned domain. None of this makes sense. The autopsy report didn't mention any of the injuries depicted in the video. Hell, I saw the body. It wasn't mangled at all. But the person in the video was Brian. I recognized the scar on his forehead from where he fell off his scooter way back when. The date listed on the envelope is from the day Dr. Bailey called me. The body Dr. Bailey sent me isn't my brother. When the coroner called, Brian was still alive. Maybe he still is. Last night I dreamt about the face I saw in the video. I dreamt that I was running through the woods I used to play in as a child. I was being chased. When I looked over my shoulder, I saw that face. It was faster than me. It caught me. When its gray hands touched my skin, it felt like my blood was boiling. When I woke up, there was a buzzing in my ears. It sounded just like the noise in the video. Whatever that face is, it was telling me something. I know it was. It was sending me a message with that video. It's telling me that it's time to go back to Gilliman.
We're going back.
It's time to go home.
Don't you dare tell me that's the end.
Our second story this evening.
What?
From author.
What? What? Oh, god damn it. What does that even mean? So his brother wasn't dead, but then he had to go back? Ugh, why can't we just have like one story that just ends? That's not like some cliffhanger that we have to deduct. Can we please have just a normal story with a beginning, middle, and end? Or is that too much to ask for?
Winnie F. Winters is not for the faint of heart and
We gotta go
concerns
back,
a young
Marty.
woman whose powerful bond with her father is strained by the secrets they keep from one another.
Just an ending.
I give you
anything.
Daddy's Girl.
Uh-oh. This one's gonna have an ending, alright. Something's gonna happen.
I've been blessed with a happy childhood. I know this, and I'm not ungrateful. I know others have endured suffering I myself cannot imagine. Hunger, pain, grief. Others have worked far harder for far less and found contentment. I know this. I know all of it. I'm not ungrateful. I've been, always, my father's daughter, Daddy's little girl. Of my mother, I remember little, only an impression of warmth and a dash of perfume. When I was too young to understand, she ran away with her accountant and moved across the country to start a new life, one without my father and me. At first, she sent me cards, birthday, Christmas, even a get well card when I had my tonsils out. But gradually, they became fewer and farther between, until by the time I was in middle school, they'd stopped completely. By then, I didn't mind. My mother was more of a figment, a fever dream. My father was everything to
hello?
me.
Oh, is it the grass from the other
My
thing?
father is a hard-working man. He works with his hands, building
yeah,
houses.
Okay, that's what it is.
He built this house, my childhood home. When I was younger, he was gone often, out working. We didn't have much money, though I didn't recognize it as poverty until later. Buying other people's clothes at garage sales, their smell still woven into the fabric. Shopping with a grocery list limited to the items covered by EBT. Getting school supplies as birthday presents. I was happy enough, as children are in their ignorant bliss. I didn't know yet what I was missing. But my father wanted more for me. He wanted to give me everything. So he studied in night classes to earn his contractor's license, and he took out a loan against the house he'd built with his own 2 hands, and he carved out a piece of prosperity for us. He's had his own business for nearly 10 years now, and he's known by his peers to be fair and honest. After the first few years of a struggling fledgling business, things changed. My clothes were new, and only smelled like the lavender fabric softener our new housekeeper used. We bought groceries without looking at the prices, and trips to restaurants, once reserved for special occasions, became a weekend ritual. I moved to a prestigious academy across town, with knee-length skirts in their school uniforms and Ivy League acceptances in every graduating class. Despite all this, my father did his best to keep me from turning out spoiled. There were rules in his house. Not many, but they were ironclad. My father provided for and loved me, and in many ways allowed me to explore and grow independently. All he asked was that I follow his rules, and he never set a rule he didn't explain. My father was a fair man, after all. The earliest rule I remember was that I was not to go in the basement. This was easily enforced, as the basement was locked.
That reminds me of the
I did not know where he
Goosebumps,
kept the key. The basement was dangerous.
The Goosebumps
he told
episode
me,
back when I was a kid.
When I, out of childish curiosity,
Don't go into the basement.
demanded to know why. There were black widows down there, spinning their webs in wait for me. And quite possibly rats, he added, which is why he went down so often to set traps.
Okay.
Bats were also the source of the sounds I sometimes heard coming from beyond the locked door. A faint scratching, and, more rarely, a soft squeak. As I grew up, the rules became less about personal harm. Don't touch the stove, don't run with scissors, and more about personal responsibility. No phone until you finish your homework. No borrowing the car until you've done your chores. I rebelled against these, as all teenagers do, sometimes with scathing judgments only a child can deliver to a parent. My father was patient during these scenes, and waited until I'd worn myself out before explaining. Cecilia, he said.
That's not a squeak.
The world is a hard place. It doesn't give handouts. I need to know that
then
when
what's
I'm
this?
gone,
No, I'm just kidding.
you can take care of yourself. And the only way to do that is to develop self-discipline. You're a smart girl, and you can do anything you could possibly dream of. But you gotta work to get there. Of course, he was right. I knew he was right, however much I resented his pronouncements. But it placed me in good stead. That self-discipline he instilled in me led to a spot on the varsity lacrosse team, where we went to state. It helped me as student body vice president when the president was sidelined with mono the week before homecoming. And it all seemed to culminate that day when an official-looking envelope arrived in the mail, bearing the letter that congratulated me on acceptance to the University of Chicago.
Damn!
He was there for all of that, in ways large and small, and I'd never seen him so proud as the day I'd opened that letter. And, like the stalwart father he is, he was there for the bad things, too. There was only one other rule I was expected to abide by while I was in his house.
Don't go in the basement.
No boys.
Oh.
Ever.
No basement.
My father
boys.
was suspicious of friends and male acquaintances, and even disliked my male teachers.
Damn.
Boys have one thing on their mind, Sissy. He told me more than once. You can't let them distract you. You've got a future, girl, and you can't let it get away from you. This was partially why he sent me to an all-girls school, to keep me focused on my education. Luckily enough, this rule turned out to be pretty easy to follow, though I've never gotten up the courage to tell my father that my best friend, Lynn, was actually a lot more. I can't think of what he'd say if he knew what we got up to during our study sleepovers.
I see
think
what's
about
going
Lynn
on
a
here.
lot, though it's been nearly a year since I've seen her. She ran away from home and no one's heard from her since. It's my fault, really. We hit a rough patch the summer after junior year. She wanted to come out. I didn't. I didn't know what it would do to my dad, and I wasn't willing to risk it. I was scared. She called me a coward, and she was right. So I called her something worse. She insisted on getting out of the car and walking home, and I drove off. And that was the last I saw of her. It wasn't the last I heard of her, though. A few hours later, she tried to call me, but I turned off my phone. I went out with some friends and stayed past curfew. I thought my dad would be livid when I got home, but he was out too. Likely on one of the emergencies he got called on sometimes. I passed out on my bed, and it wasn't until the next morning that I heard she was missing. No one knew where she'd gone. The police questioned everyone, including her best friend. I lied to them, said nothing was wrong. I didn't know why she would want to run away. Her family loved her. Her teachers loved her.
Why would...
Everybody loved her.
Why would you lie about that?
I didn't tell them about the dozens of texts she'd sent, begging me to answer, or the voicemail, her voice broken from crying. Cece, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pushed you. I get that you're scared, okay? I'm scared too. I just want us to be able to live like normal people, you know? I don't want to hide anymore. I love you, and I'm tired of acting like it's something to be ashamed of. God damn it, Cece, why won't you answer? I'm coming over, and I'm not leaving until you talk to me. That was a rough time.
I see what's going on.
Back then, I thought I was the reason she left. Now,
she's still in the basement, dude.
I know I am. My dad went out tonight drinking with buddies from work. I have the house to myself. I just printed a paper for school and went into my dad's study to get it. I rarely go in there. It's his man cave, and I know he values his privacy. But that's where the printer is. There's also a fax machine and his laptop, and this big cherry wood desk he salvaged. It's a beautiful thing. When I was younger, I used to sit in the big office chair with my feet swinging and trace the grain in the desktop wood. I liked the smell of wax and wood, and the way the handles were set with decorative curls. I used to go through all the drawers just for the sake of opening them. Kid stuff. You know you did it too. There was always one drawer, the bottom left, that he kept locked. When I was a kid, this bothered me. I didn't like any secrets except my own. As I got older, I figured it contained something he was embarrassed about. Porno mags was my best guess. And then I forgot about it completely. Tonight, as I took my pages describing the role of light in Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man, I saw that the drawer was, ever so lightly, open. Maybe he forgot to lock it. Maybe, trusting me to be the loyal daughter, he stopped bothering. Maybe he wanted me to find it. Though, this last one, I highly doubt. I wouldn't have thought of myself as the snooping type, but there was still a bit of that little girl inside me who wanted to know why. And I thought selfishly that if I had access to my father's secrets, maybe it'd be easier to share my own. So I opened the drawer. Inside was a camera. An old thing, not even a touchscreen. No streaming, no bells and whistles to speak of. I was a little unnerved. A camera? I'd never seen this camera before. And why one so old? I thought again of pornography,
so judgmental, dude?
And wondered if I really wanted to look. What if I'd found my father's amateur porno tape?
Uh-oh.
I'd have to blind myself. But, I thought, the weight of my own secrets pressing on me. But if it was, there'd be no way he could judge me. So I bit the bullet and I turned it on.
That's some backwards logic there.
There were, indeed, pictures of women. No. Girls.
Uh-oh.
Girls my age.
Uh-oh.
Some even younger. So many girls.
Oh no.
So many crying, frightened, screaming girls.
It's getting deep,
I'm not gonna
dude.
tell you what was being done to them. You already know. You've read this story before. I was horrified.
Jesus.
But I kept going through the camera, photo after photo, every image making my stomach roil. You'll wonder why I did it. Why I didn't just drop the damn thing and call the police. I admit, it was a foolish reason, and selfish, but I needed to give it a chance. I needed to know if there was an exception. Just one single photo that showed me something different.
What are you expecting, lady?
The thing that horrified me the most wasn't the blood. It wasn't the contorted figures, or the bodies hanging limply with blank eyes. It was how familiar they all looked, even though I'd never seen them before.
Oh, Jesus.
A pattern playing over and over through each picture. Straight dark hair cut at the collarbone with blunt bangs, in some cases obviously a wig. In others, the hair chopped messily, dye darkening the skin along their hairline. A splash of freckles across the nose, sometimes smudged, as though drawn on. And a small cut, just under the chin, not more than an inch long, right where I have a scar from falling off my bike when I was 7.
Uh-oh.
I was looking at the scene of my death, perverted and parodied, over and over and over.
Oh, jeez. Dad's
Played
gonna
out
kill
with
you.
These strangers, these girls, these poor, mutilated, living dolls
Why?
of me. I don't know how many pictures there are. I didn't get through them all. I couldn't keep going after I got to Lynn. She was wearing the neon eyeshadow I'd gotten her for her birthday, the palette she wore the night we fought, the night she disappeared. Her mascara had run, and lipstick was smudged around her mouth. I thought of how she used to kiss me with that mouth. A coat of lipstick freshly applied, leaving an imprint on my own lips when she pulled away. "Thought I'd refresh your lipstick," she'd say, and laugh like it was the funniest thing in the world. She had the most beautiful laugh, rising and falling like a roller coaster. She was done up the same way as all the others. Her wig was crooked, and the running mascara had ruined the freckles. She must have struggled when he made the cut, because there was more blood than the other photos. She must have fought him hard, just like she wanted to fight the world. I wonder if she cursed my name as he snapped the picture. It's getting late. My dad will be home soon. When he arrives, I'll be waiting for him.
Like what?
I've already gotten the shotgun out of the safe. It's loaded, safety
Wait.
on, resting beside me on the desk while I type this. My father made sure I know how to use it. He wants me to be able to protect myself against a hard, cruel world. "A gun is not a toy," he said to me at the shooting range. "Don't pick up a weapon unless you intend to use it." He's a wise man, my dad.
And now he's a dead man.
I'm posting this so that someone, anyone, will know what he's done. And what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for him on the stairs by the front door, shotgun in my lap. I'll keep my hold steady, my finger off the trigger until I'm ready to fire, just like he taught me. You think I'm going to kill him? I can't say that I won't. It depends, I guess, on him. The gun here is less a weapon, and more an incentive. An incentive to fetch the basement key, to unlock that long-forbidden door, to march down into the darkness filled with things so much worse than spiders and rats. An incentive to lock himself into the manacles and chains bolted to the walls and ceiling. An incentive to keep nice and quiet while I review his chest of toys. Gleaming and silver and sharp. You're wondering why I'm posting here.
Okay, lady.
Why
you
I
got
haven't
like
called the
2
police.
minutes, or else the story's
It's
just
because
over.
once the police get him, he'll be gone for good. And I'll be left with that little girl inside me. That little girl who always wants to know. So I'll allow him this one single chance to tell me why.
Well, he just
Then I'll decide.
wants to kill you, dude.
You see? I'm a fair person.
He's
I'm my
crazy.
father's daughter, after all.
Yeah, and now you're crazy. Okay. When is it supposed to be? It's called the Simply Scary Podcast, and why? That wasn't even scary. When's the scary stuff supposed to happen? I get it. The event is like a scary event, but I was expecting like, you know, ghosts or I don't know. And then like he locks the drawer with the camera, obviously, because he's crazy. But then he's like, yo, no, it's fine. Go use the shotgun. That's unlocked at all times. That was upsetting. Now, and it went on for very long. Frustrating. We haven't, like, got one scary one yet. I might have to go... They're running out of ideas. That's what's happening. We need some good stuff. Pull me back in here. I need some ghosts. Oh, part 2. Damn it. Okay, this has some zombies on the front of it. I'm going for it. Excuse me, just anything to mix it up.
Tales for dark nights.
Anything to mix it up. Give me something spooky, dude. Hey, Evil Remino, what's going on?
Against the uneven stone wall of the underground cavern. It was uncomfortable, but adjusting my posture wouldn't have made it any better. So I ignored the discomfort pressing into my shoulder blades and leaned my head back until it touched the rocks. I heard a chuckle in front of me to my left. Without moving my head, I glanced at my partner sitting by the adjacent wall. "Are you still laughing?" I muttered, not really caring for an answer.
I can't help it. The way you said that back there, you seriously sounded like an old man who just misplaced his glasses or something. Are you really 21? Every time I think about it, I want to laugh again.
I didn't think it was that amusing, but I recalled the moment anyway. It was pandemonium, or had been. Despite the tumultuous cacophony of frantic shouting and gunfire in the cave just seconds ago, the air was now heavy with dead silence. Everyone's eyes were on the two of us, the density of their anxiety and uneasiness polluting the atmosphere. Well, shit. I broke the silence rather nonchalantly, sighing through the last word. I stopped eyeing the bite on my bicep to glance at my partner. Think we're infected? The look of disbelief and shock vanished from his face as he met my gaze, slightly wide-eyed, and then a surge of laughter spilled from his lips before he could stop himself.
Definitely.
I gave Derek a pointed look. Just stop thinking about it then.
I'll oblige, but I'll be consumed by thoughts I'd rather not have otherwise.
Understanding his sentiments, I forgave him, though I wasn't angry with him in the first place. Glad I could be of service. I'll let you keep the luxury of hilarity given the circumstances.
Thanks,
he said with a smile.
Man, you're really something. How can you keep up that sarcastic commentary in this kind of situation? But then you've always been strong-willed like that.
Strong-willed my ass. We've been together for all these years. You should know by now. Sarcasm's the only thing keeping me sane these days.
Huh. Touché.
You're pretty impressive yourself. The way you can smile and laugh like a normal person in this mess of a world.
It's how I'm still sane. Although it's always at your expense.
Then Derek grinned.
Your snarky remarks are what fuel my humor.
I shot back a half grin. Well, gee. I guess you're pretty relieved that it was the two of us who were bitten then, and not just one of us staying behind.
Now that you mention it, I might be. You think the rest of the team made it out okay?
They better have, I quipped, staring at the stone ceiling. Or else to think that I stayed behind to clear out these stragglers for nothing. I turned my gaze to the bloody mess before us. The corpses of several zombie-like monsters strewn across the small chamber. Yep, that makes me mad. My partner tilted his head in agreement.
It does, doesn't it?
The two of us fell into silence for a bit, and I was back to staring at the ceiling again until Derek spoke.
Sorry I couldn't protect you.
I suddenly felt a tide of irritation that was completely uncalled for. What the hell are you talking about? I said, slightly aggressively, because I had a feeling I knew what was coming.
Even though I managed to jump in front of you, I didn't shield you properly, and you still got bitten. I should have pushed you away sooner.
I repeat, what the hell are you talking about? If you ask me, you shouldn't have tried to save me in the first place. I would have been the only one bitten had you stayed away.
What are you talking about? How can I watch my partner get attacked and do nothing?
In this world we live in, that's exactly what you should do. As a result of trying to protect me, we both got infected. I'm sure the rest of the team appreciates that greatly. Derek abruptly became quiet, as if he'd stopped breathing, and I realized my sarcastic nature let out a little more harshly than I had meant to. Well, I'm not saying that it's your fault, because it's not. I was tripping over my words slightly, finding the act of apologizing rather unfamiliar. I mean, even if I was the only one bitten back there, who knows? Someone else could have been attacked afterwards anyway. There's no way to tell the future, after all. It wasn't quite a proper apology, as I didn't even mention the word sorry, but my partner seemed to understand.
Yeah, sorry.
I would have brought my hand to my face in exasperation had my bicep not been stinging like hell, the rest of my body aching like hell, and all my muscles exhausted as hell. Don't be. Thanks for always jumping to my side in times of danger, buddy. He shot me a smile.
You too.
No problem. How's the shoulder? I looked at his bite, and then at him in general. I could tell he was getting slightly paler in spite of the dimness of the caves, and I wondered how much longer we had.
I'll live.
He winced when his fingers
Okay,
grazed
pretty
the
good.
wound.
Though I'm not sure I actually want to if I'm gonna turn into one of those things.
That's what we all save the last bullet for, no? He smiled weakly.
Right. Your arm?
Can't be much worse than you. I replied to the implied question. As I continued to stare into space, I noticed him watching me out of the corner of my eye. What's up?
I really think you're something after all. You deal with all of this so well.
I told you. It's the side effects of having a plethora of sarcastic wit stored in my hard drive. I was getting a little miffed by his friendly admiration. Although grateful at the same time, I knew we weren't on the same page. He thought I was great, but I knew I was scum.
It's not what I mean. I know you don't really like talking about it, but you joined the forces because of your family, right? You told me they were glad to have you taken off their hands by the government. You never gave me the details, but you made it sound like you were scorned by your family. You had to have been upset for being thrown into this chaos, but you've held up so well throughout the years. You were so young, I'm surprised you're not pointing fingers and blaming them for sitting here infected now.
You know, you're not that many years older than me. Stop speaking like I'm still a kid.
Sorry.
I pondered for a moment. I never told you the details?
Nope.
That's funny. To be honest, maybe I did feel a bit hateful, being forced into fighting monsters like these. I don't remember them. Weirdly enough, I feel like I'm more thankful for what they did now. Want to hear about it? Derek grunted as he shifted his posture.
Why not?
Did I ever mention that I was adopted? Judging from that expression on your face, I'm guessing no. Well, now you know. When the outbreak happened 7 years ago, my foster brother got bitten when he tried to save me from an infected. It just happened, like it happened to everyone else. I was the one who put him down after he turned. I guess it was all the anxiety and the terror. But my foster family grew to despise the fact that it was their child who died instead of me. Someone who had no blood relation to them. And eventually, that hate came to be directed at me. No matter the reason, I became a risk factor in their family. And they were only too eager to send me away when the government began looking for recruits. I spared my partner a glance, and he seemed to have paled more compared to before. I had started to feel pretty sluggish myself. "You all right?" I asked, despite being able to see for myself. He nodded.
So, what happened that makes you think differently about them now?
I shrugged. Time passed. As I spent more time on the battlefield and came across cities without a single human still alive, I realized the chances that my foster family is still alive somewhere are pretty slim. I don't mean that I'm relieved they're dead, or think that they deserve it. I just think that if I hadn't been sent to the forces and received all that training, I wouldn't be alive today. Besides, even if they weren't my real family, they were the ones who fed me and raised me all those years. They taught me to walk, talk, sent me to school, showed me what it meant to have a family. And because of them, I found a new family in the team, and in you. By this point, I had been rambling with my eyelids shut. I felt so sleepy, the exhaustion having crept up on me without my realizing it. My mind cleared for a moment long enough to notice how cheesy I sounded at the end of my impromptu speech there. Sorry.
Thanks, partner. I'm glad it was you I was with these past 7 years. Just saying, but you're a really good person, aren't you?
I almost let out a harsh bark of laughter at that, but I scoffed softly instead. Are you kidding me? Human beings are shitty creatures. He said nothing, only the look of amusement evident in the slight quirk of his lips, expecting me to continue. Why else do you think we're in this living hell? There's proof enough from the fact that we tried to engineer bioweapons and arrogance of our intelligence, casting aside consequences and the safety of humanity. We're all shitty people, Derek.
You might have a point there.
Our conversation died, and the caves were quiet aside from the occasional sound of something dripping. I didn't want to know what. And the gradual increase of labored breathing.
Man, I'm starting to feel really weak. 7 years, huh? We've lasted this long already. Think it's about time we ended this.
You took the words right out of my mouth, partner. We both picked up our handguns sitting by our sides and turned off the safety. This was going to end in one shot.
Hey,
Derek said as he inspected his pistol.
Maybe I've seen too many zombie movies, but this is hypothetical, okay? What if you discover that you were immune to this whole zombie virus thing, and you could be the cure? But you'd have to die in order to give the world a chance to save humanity. Would you be willing to give up your life?
My heart skipped a beat. Why? You immune?
Huh. Oh, my infection's gotten that much worse in this short amount of time. So, would you?
What kind of weird question is that?
I did say, what if?
You want my honest answer?
Of course.
Had you asked me that question outside these circumstances, I'd probably have said, yeah, I would. Derek raised a brow.
And now?
I think I'll have to decline. Don't ask me for the reason. It's just how I'm feeling. It looked like he was in pain, and his laugh sounded strained.
Just doing whatever you want, as always. Maybe you're not such a good person after all.
He lifted his gun and brought the barrel of it near me. I responded in kind with a chuckle of my own. Like I said, we're all shitty people. I lifted my arm and tapped my weapon lightly against his. Cheers.
Cheers. See you in the afterlife.
Even though we're already in hell.
Sure. Can't get worse than this, can it?
You got that right. I'll see you around, partner.
See ya.
We simultaneously pressed our guns against our temples, and with my free hand I touched the weak old bite on my calf hidden by my pants, inwardly laughing half-heartedly. I began to squeeze the trigger. We're all shitty people. It's hard to say in that moment whether or not there was the sound of gunshots. Does a felled tree really make a sound when there's no one standing in the forest to listen?
Damn.
Chilling tales for dark nights.
That got dark. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go. We're gonna call a stream soon in just a second. I'm gonna add 2 more dinos to this thing really quick. It's been a while. It's been a while. I don't even know if anyone is still here. I think I might just pick which dinos I'm gonna add. Usually, I'll have someone just blurt out a dino that they're like, "Yo, add this one." But today, let's see. What's it called? I don't know. I gotta Google it. Google time. Let's see. Oops. All right. No. Cancel. I don't know where I'm gonna add this guy, but life finds a way. Oh, I know where I can. Maybe? Okay. Oh, it's gonna be rough. It is overly bright right now. Whoa. Whoa. Oh shit. I went negative on it? Christ almighty. Okay. Oh my god, he's so tiny. Oh. I can't even go any farther. Okay. Add him to there. Oh shit, that's right. What level are you on, friend? Okay. Okay. I know I needed to add one more because I forgot to add one last time. So I'm gonna add Parasaur because that's the first thing that came to my head. I just don't know where. What are we saying? Okay, oh, I got it. We'll do this. Oh, no, cancel. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. It, like, made everything a Parasaur. That was not what I was trying to do. Yo, take it easy. Okay. Throw on some music real quick. Okay. I think last time we talked about this, since there's too many freaking dinos in this game, I'm gonna have to like get creative here. So I got it. Where you at, my dude? Oh my god. Okay, I'm cool with that. Let's see. Ah! Oh my god. It's so stupid now. Oh my god. I almost feel like... Here. I got it. We'll go this way. Here, let me do this really quick because it's not so hard to look at. There we go. The masterpiece. Okay, I'm happier with that. Gives us another dinosaur to build off of. Oh, Christ. Okay. All right, I'll switch it. Oh, actually, well, no, let's do really quick. Let's do recap of today. Give me a little bit of... Ooh. Give me some of that mood lighting. Oh, shit. Oh, well. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how today went so far. Definitely, it's crazy how just doing the still water, because before it was the crazy water, just doing still water helps out so much. I'm pretty happy with most of everything. I still gotta go through the area that I did today and add other stuff that's missing. This was like first pass day, but you know, just feeling it out. Broad strokes kind of thing. But definitely happy with everything so far. Just can't wait to get over to this other part. I'm really excited. Plus, I gotta add flowers too. I still gotta do that, which is gotta double check those. But all in all, very happy. Is this gonna... Nope, it actually didn't crash it. Oh shoot, also I forgot to... It always look... It's crazy too how much the backdrop just freaking helps so much. Oh man, I just love... It's always so nice, these little tiny areas. That reflection too is super dope. Getting to see the trees. I still gotta decide if I'm gonna do a river here. We might have to change that, I don't know. Well, actually, no, now that we have a landscape... yeah, we might be okay. Okay. Alright. Well, for anyone who's still there, thanks for hanging out, and thanks for stopping by. I'm a little bit sad about the stories today. I was hoping for more edge-of-your-seat scary stories, and we got into the scary reality stories, which aren't really scary, it's more just sad, because... Oh, it's like real-life stuff instead of, like, ghosts and spooks. But... thank you all for hanging out, and I will talk to you next stream, and I don't know when, possibly next weekend maybe, and yeah, thanks for hanging out. See you guys later. See ya.